Tour Vancouver Velocity. This one I feel like could go any which way. I get a strong feeling this one is going to move, and I have zero clue in which direction. Maybe down, but every time I say maybe down, the course surprises me. My first impression is this needs to move a lot down because we're in the best lap, and I'm already feeling like I'm having significantly less fun than the 3 tracks that I just played. That was fun. This part's fun. I don't know if it's as fun as anything that was in the last track, though. And that was the best part of the course, so I think Vancouver Velocity here may be in a lot of trouble. After the last 3 courses that I've played, this feels like I dropped a CC. This does not feel very good. I think, I almost think I may need to go back and play a couple of items below to recompare, like a quick lap on them, just because I don't know how far this is going to fall. It's definitely fallen. It's definitely fallen. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's just, boy, this is a real long straight, isn't it? Fuck, how far is this gonna go? Oh, Jesus, well, it helped if I didn't fuck that up. I think Vancouver Velocity may have benefited from being pretty early in the rankings here. Or who knows, maybe I've just severely underestimated the few courses that were just below it. Actually, the end of that lap's pretty alright, but that's definitely got to come down. And it's got to come down pretty damn hard. To be perfectly honest, based on that lap, I am looking at the board here, and it might be a catastrophic failure here for Tour Vancouver Velocity. Boy. It's more ambitious than Water Park, I'll give it that. I'll say it's better than Electrodrome. I don't know if I'm willing to say it's better than Ninja Hideaway. Tic Tac Clock's better. Merry Mountain's better. DS Waluigi Pinball's better. Tour Sydney Sprint's better. Is Tour Sydney Sprint better? Tour Sydney Sprint, actually, I don't know. Like, it didn't feel sedate to me when I was just playing it earlier. Maybe it's the music. Because I've never been the biggest fan of the music in Vancouver Velocity, but I definitely enjoyed New York Minute quite a bit more, and Daisy Cruiser and Choco Mountain and Yoshi Valley. I'll say and Sydney Sprint and Waluigi Pinball. I think I enjoyed Merry Mountain more. I think I enjoyed Tic Tac Clock more. I think even with the absolute bullshittery that was that incident on Ninja Hideaway, I would say Ninja Hideaway is a better track. I am not... part of me thinks maybe Electrodrome is a better track, but Electrodrome is also pretty unambitious, and at least this one changes routes. So, catastrophic failure. Absolute devastation for Tour Vancouver Velocity. Falling out of the top half of the courses with a damn near 15 course plummet here. It is our new number 63. Real, just Canada in absolute shambles. That their finest son, at least the son that they can call a Mario Kart course, or maybe daughter, who knows, is in absolute just travesty. Devastated. I don't know what the fuck I'm even saying anymore. Tour Vancouver Velocity. I'm not playing every course below it to retest it, because, I mean, if you think I'm seriously going to pick every one of these courses again a fucking third time, or in Waluigi Pinball's case, a fourth time, just so that we can clarify whether Vancouver Velocity is mid or slightly below mid. I think you have a lovely world outside full of grass that you can go ahead and touch. Next up is Piranha Plant Cove. This one also could get interesting. Alright, let's definitely start Piranha Plant Cove. I definitely didn't already start it and then realize all of the sound in my head was like a second off of the game, and it didn't just drive me nuts. So, I definitely didn't start this race already. It's definitely the first time I'm looking at this right now. I didn't form any opinions yet, so it's fine. This course, a fan favorite of many people in the Booster Pass. I have a strong feeling that may be recency bias because I just don't think the layout is super great. But I'm betting that it is going to be better than at least Vancouver Velocity. Already, I am feeling better. I will say this is one thing I love about this course. Because I have a mushroom, I can already start this turn before I have really even hit the ground. That is, I really like that shortcut. I'm glad I got a mushroom so I could do that, show that off. This is another spot, though, where I feel like those turns are just a little bit tighter. Be a little more fun. But like shit like this. This is like, you slowly fall down. And I feel like if it were just a little less of a drop, that would be a little more entertaining. I definitely feel better about this course than I just did about Vancouver Velocity. I definitely think I feel better about Animal Crossing than I do about this course. But we've only done one section, folks. There's another section left. The fact that that dive into the water was perfectly timed in the music honestly just helped this course's chances. That was pretty fucking sweet. Actually, actually, that second section, I think I like that a lot more than the first section. This thing's clawing its way back, I think. I'm warming back up to it. Yeah, it being a 3-section course, I think, is really helping here. Because, based on that first section, I thought that maybe it was going to have to drop a few spots. I'm not 100% sure on that anymore because of the variety of having 3 sections and some of these like little set pieces like that guy coming out. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that right where it is. I think that it's got flaws. It's definitely got pacing flaws. I don't think it has much of a chance of going any higher than it just did. But it does enough. It does enough with the three changing route concept that I think it has a little bit of something that the courses below it don't have. Still would have preferred Wario Shipyard, I think, but yeah, changing routes helps that course. Congratulations, Piranha Plant Cove. You will remain in the top half of the list. To our Amsterdam Drift here. I guess we're actually going to have to rewrite history, folks. If you recall, in episode... I have my episode number blocked on my screen right now. Whatever the... in episode 4, I said, Bangkok Rush is worse than Piranha Plant Cove, then proceeded to put it above it on the list, then proceeded to put Tour Amsterdam Drift in the middle of them like a goddamn idiot. Originally, I was just going to move Bangkok Rush below Piranha Plant Cove, but due to the format that I'm now just playing everything regardless, I'm just going to leave it for now. But if we do any given Sunday rule, I'll probably give the advantage to the loser of the... I'll give it to Amsterdam Drift, basically, if Amsterdam Drift wins, or Piranha Plant Cove if Piranha Plant Cove wins. I really felt like these courses would be similar in quality. I definitely think this is better paced off the top, based on what I'm remembering, than the course I just played. But maybe not as visually interesting, and maybe not as much variety. I mean, I guess it's got variety, but the variety kind of sucks because the fucking canal is kind of just boring to look at. It's different, but it's not great. I do like that. I love the little shortcut there. You can, like, fly out of the canal. Like, the canal part is fun to drive. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I think this might be one of the visually least interesting sections in all of Mario Kart. But I've got to say, I think this is currently still... yeah, I'd say it's probably going to beat Piranha Plant Rush, barring a complete, absolute failure on the last lap, which I don't really see happening, because I remember it being just fine. You do get a little bit of the head-on from Paris. Usually doesn't work out quite as well as the Paris head-on section, I feel. I think there's something about flying in the glider in Paris that makes that just a little bit more interesting. But no, this layout's pretty solid. Not the greatest thing in the world. Again, I think this is one where, like, if you take any one of these 3 laps and compare it to a few of the courses that are below it in the list, I would probably move it lower. But the fact that it changes every lap does add something to the course. I don't think that I am going to place that any lower than Piranha Plant Cove. I'm going to go ahead and leave Tour Amsterdam Drift right where it is. I find it ironic, now that I'm looking at this, that Tour Vancouver Velocity failed because its velocity, average velocity, really wasn't enough. It kind of makes the phrase Vancouver Velocity sound like an insult. Like, oh geez, that fucking tractor really has Vancouver Velocity. Right, but enough about Vancouver, enough about Amsterdam. What about Bangkok? Bangkok, the benefit of an error on my part, currently sitting above Amsterdam. If I think it is about the same as Amsterdam, I will give it to Amsterdam on principle. If I think it is the same as Piranha Plant Cove, I will give it to Piranha Plant Cove on principle. If I feel it is better than both of those, then it doesn't really matter in the end. And my mistake will have been overwritten anyway. Fuck. Boy, that's a real long section where nothing's really happening, isn't it? And it's like, yeah, I could have gone up above, but I mean, it's still straight, pretty much. Actually, kind of reminds me of Piranha Plant Cove's flaws, but it doesn't have Piranha Plant Cove's strength. Obviously, you can tell by my voice, I'm currently probably going to go ahead and place this book somewhere below Piranha Plant Cove, unless the final section is the best part of this course, though, so we'll see if it can make it up. That felt pretty good, but unfortunately, it's probably going to make the absolute disastrous decision to send me under the long bridge of nothing happening. Which basically just eliminated a bunch of the goodwill that I was just having towards this track. I think this thing's going to fall. I think it's going to fall. Not terribly, but I think it's going to fall a few spots. My impression is that was not nearly... let's go ahead and look at the rankings here. So I would go ahead and take Amsterdam Drift over that. I would go ahead and take Piranha Plant Cove. I would go ahead and take Music Park. I would go ahead and take Rubble Volcano. I would go ahead and take Animal Crossing. Maybe it's going to fall further than I thought. Because I'm looking at some of the ones below it. I'm honestly... I don't know. I'll take Bowser Castle 3 over it. I'll take Boo Lake over it. I think I might take New York over it. New York's kind of a surprise for me. It shouldn't be as good as it is. I'll take that over Choco Mountain. So that, I think, is the floor. Well, yeah. I'll take Daisy Cruiser. I mean, I'll take Bangkok over Daisy Cruiser. maybe I'm a little harsh in taking New York. I'm too unsure about saying New York Minute is better to give it that. But I am pretty confident in saying that I would rather play on GBA Blue Lake than what I just played. Therefore, actually falling a little bit further than I thought it might, I'm going to go ahead and move Tour Bangkok Rush down to 52. But also, we're kind of in the range in the middle of the board where big changes can happen, because these were all so kind of close in my initial assessment and quality. I think I originally said I wasn't expecting to move a ton of things in the middle of the board, but the more I think about it, the more likely that's going to be. Because of situations like this where I keep thinking like, yeah, it's okay, but then when you really play them back to back, you find yourself really preferring something different, to the degree that you can't really ignore. Because like sometimes you'll end up like this one. Yeah, I mean, I could play this tomorrow and tell you Music Park's better than Piranha Plant Cove. That's not enough for me to overturn it. That was enough for me to overturn where Tour Bangkok Rush is. Still not helping Waluigi Pinball out, though. Next up is going to be a really interesting one. This one, I feel like, may be a little overranked, maybe a little underranked. I haven't decided. Cloudtop Cruise. My gut says, when I look at this list, that I feel like Amsterdam Drift may be the start of a tier. Of quality. Because I'm looking at some of the names now, and all of a sudden all the names that I'm looking at above Amsterdam Drift, I'm thinking those are some pretty damn good tracks. Not that the tracks we just played are bad. Just, we're starting to get to the good shit here. Boy, I gotta tell you, if you're gonna make a good case for yourself, you put in Gusty Garden, I'm gonna give you some points. I'm sorry. I'm only human. Would have been better if these were real instruments, but, well, whatever. This one wins over Amsterdam Drift. Not by a huge margin. Maybe it's not quite the start of a new tier, but I think having played a bunch of the course, it might actually be, like, I don't know, some of the problems of this course might be worse than the course below it, but there's just something about this course that, and whether it be the music, the visuals, I just like it. It's not my favorite. I really genuinely think the first half of the course there is pretty solid, and I think this lightning section has actually grown on me a little bit over time, because I've gotten a little more risky about trying to hit the light, trying to dodge the lightning, and it's made it a little more exhilarating. It's still not as good as it could be, though. I also feel like that should always be a trick ramp off that box, and it isn't, and it bothers me. I think Cloudtop Cruise is going to remain the victor over Tour Amsterdam. Cloudtop Cruise is going to remain in the top half of the list. I know that's not a super popular course. Actually, it seems like people go pretty anyway on that one. And I don't really know what the impressions are of our next course overall. It's DS Mario Circuit. I think generally people like this course, but wish that it hadn't taken the slot that everyone thought kind of probably rightfully was deserved by Airship Fortress. But it's still a good Mario Circuit. One might say it's the best Mario Circuit in this game, but we'll definitely do the science here to determine. Spoiler alert, it is. Unless I'm forgetting one. My first impression is this is going to fall. I don't know how far. It's definitely not Vancouver Velocity levels of collapse. I mean, it's a good circuit, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know if it's doing a ton for me at this exact moment. That exchange is very good. Okay. Let's go to the board for Mario Circuit Round 2. My early impression is that that was not as good as Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing doesn't have as much going on, but it's got a little better pacing. I don't know if I'm willing to move it any lower than that. Because I think it's weird because I think I am willing to lower it a little lower than that. I think it's better than Bangkok Rush. Less downtime, doesn't have the stupid... Bangkok Rush, well, is it better than Bangkok Rush? Fuck. Okay, I'll take it over New York Minute, I'll take it over Daisy Cruiser. Some days. Today, because it's ranked above them already. I'll go ahead and give it to DS Mario Circuit because I can't confidently say whether I would take it over Bangkok Rush, and it is already placed above it. So therefore, I think DS Mario Circuit has just fallen out of the top half of the courses. I thought that wasn't much of a fall, but now that I'm looking at it, that is a good 9-point fall. That's pretty big, but I do feel pretty confident in the courses that are currently ranked above it. Boo Lake, I know I had eyed that before we began this process as a course to watch out for in terms of climbing up the rankings because I thought I had undervalued it. It continues to prove its worth. It continues to climb. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right now and see just how far it's climbed so far. I've just reviewed the footage. Looks like GBA Boo Lake has so far beaten 11 challengers that were ahead of it. Really give it up for Boo Lake, folks. I knew as soon as I played that one that was going to be dangerous. Really, just a fun course. Simple, but it's still very effective. But now, we've got a real interesting battle on our hands. We got Twisted Mansion. A course that I originally ranked lower on the list, and then really thought about it and moved it up the list. And given some of the courses that I have moved down here, I'm feeling a lot better about that, because I know in my heart of hearts this is going to beat some of the courses that I've already played today, and I don't think it originally was ranked to do so in my original ranking, because I was so obsessed with the fucking sewer. Let's go ahead and get underway here in Twisted Mansion. That section's not good. Okay, we are on the final lap of Twisted Mansion. My gut reaction says that I think this is worse than Amsterdam Rift. I don't know about some of the other courses we've played today. It just starts off promising, and then it kind of this happens, which, you ever notice the camera's a little jittery when you go through there? I'm only just now noticing that. Really think I'm going to need to double check the board here. It's going to fall. I don't think it's going to fall much. It is still a pretty good time. Just maybe my reassessment of moving it up was slightly overpowered. I do think Cloudtop Cruise is actually better. I do think Tour Amsterdam Drift is better. I think I had a better time on Piranha Plant Cove. I think... I'll take Twisted Mansion over Rumble Volcano. So that's the floor. I could flip a coin on Music Park, so I think that means Twisted Mansion defeats Music Park by default. Twisted Mansion is now our new number 45, so it does fall slightly. I don't think it's still a good course. In my reassessment of it, I think I maybe moved it up slightly too much, but not. I'd say it's pretty damn close to about where I thought it was going to end up on the board. So Twisted Mansion has now fallen to number 45. Cloudtop Cruise is currently our leader of the courses that we have played, but will it remain the leader after we take a look at GBA Ribbon Road? My gut says no, but we'll see. All right. I've just realized that I've got pillows on the floor, so I can't really check for spiders. Let's see if the spider is going to come out and root for the course that it was so adamantly ready to tackle me over. If I can find the fucking thing. There it is, GBA Ribbon Road. And I wonder if the spider is going to be pissed about the downgrade of Twisted Mansion. If I see that spider right now, I'm going to seriously just like shit my pants. Okay. One lap in. This could go either way right now. It's like every time I think maybe this isn't as good as Cloudtop Cruise, something happens that makes me go, nah, it is. So I'm still not torn. I think by default that means this is probably going to remain where it is. I thought it was going to be pretty definitive, to be honest. Actually, I had a much better time that second lap. This wins. That anti-gravity section the first lap around, I was just like not getting any tricks. Oh my god, no. Uh-oh, it's a race against time. Actually, I've warmed up more and more to it over the course of this race. And I think I feel pretty good about its chances because it has just defeated Cloudtop Cruise. GBA Ribbon Road, currently sitting in 41st. Alright, I am back. I have just very quickly refreshed myself on the quality range that we're looking at with a quick lap on Cloudtop Cruise and Ribbon Road, both of which very good tracks. And we're only at number 41 as our highest ranked course so far, so either a few things are going to be coming down, I think, or these tracks are going to start getting really good. I am eyeing a few things up above the courses I just played, thinking, maybe they're not as good, but we'll see. First up is Dolphin Shoals. I gotta say, the very beginning of this lap, I thought maybe Ribbon Road a shot because I've just never really appreciated this course, and I don't know. I think this one actually might still. It's very, very, very close, and that's another one of those where I could probably go either way. I think this one has a slightly slower pace. I don't know if I would say anything is quite as good as the first half of Ribbon Road, but for some reason, it's weird because this is all just a bunch of tricking still, which is kind of my problem with the anti-gravity section of Ribbon Road, but I just feel like the variety of surfaces I'm tricking off of and the cadence varying is making it more exciting, I think. Which, I mean, hey, we're at the point in we're at the point in these rankings where that is the level of nitpicking it is going to be to really define our little final list, is the cadence of the tricking. Like, I don't know. If that was just 3 tricks in a row with, like, equal timing, I'm not sure that would have been as entertaining as, like, one and then you float to the other 2. You know what I mean? I don't know. That feels good. What doesn't feel good is me losing this race, and so I'm going to try and fix that, especially since it's the first race of the section. Eat shit, Diddy. But I'll tell you what's not going to eat shit. Dolphin Shoals. It just became our number 40 course. It solidified its position, I think, with that run. Very, very close in quality, I believe, to the 2 courses that we rated before it, as I thought when I rated those courses. I knew I said I never thought about GBA Ribbon Road and Dolphin Shoals at the same time, and the more I think about that, the more I realize it's kind of funny that I put them back to back, because they really, I think those are probably going to stick back to back the whole way. But we'll see, because we got to make a trip to a city known as Berlin. Berlin currently ranked in 39th place. Berlin Byways, that is. Now, I do know this city has some problems. Most notably, it's ugly. Feel like there might be a couple of pacing issues in this one, but it does have traffic, and you know I like traffic by now. Unless it's the first time you're watching this, in which case we've had nothing but one bad traffic course. Wait a minute, what car is Diddy driving? Oh, it's the sneaker. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was so distracted by Diddy's car because I thought it looked like the one from Diddy Kong Racing. I forgot what lap, and I thought the first lap went left. I'm not gonna hold that against the course, I think. Part of me just wants to restart and cut that out, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in. I was just like, his car looks identical from the back to the fucking Diddy Kong Racing car. I think this is another situation where this course is really being helped by the 3-lap layout, because individually I don't think any of these sections... actually, the second half of that second section is pretty goddamn great, I'm not gonna lie. It's like individually I don't think any of these sections are really strong enough to beat the courses that just came below it, but the variance is really helping this track. Yeah, I think this one's going to hang on. I think this one's still going to be number 39. A case could be made for moving the other ones up above it, but I don't think it was strong enough. It's unfortunate that I didn't get a great feel for the first section, thanks to some interference by the AI. That has to be almost intentional, right? Like, that fucking color combo and wheel combo and car setup looks fucking identical to the Diddy Kong Racing car from behind. Huh. That's kind of really... That's kind of really fucking awesome. If that was what they were going for, because they nailed it. Okay. I almost feel like I need to leave so that I don't have Diddy in that car. Okay. Well, let's just, let's try and get that out of our mind, and let's get into our mind, Sherbet Land, GCN Sherbet Land. I'm a big fan of the setup turns in this course. I have a feeling the straightaway after the broken lake at the beginning will maybe hurt this course a bit, because the courses that I just played are pretty damn good. But, again, we're here for the science. And he has to be my rival, too, right? Like, god damn it. Yeah, maybe that's not going to hurt as much as I thought. That section wasn't as long as I thought it was. That boomerang didn't help things, but again, not really going to hold that against this course. I don't know. Obviously, I feel like a lot of these opinions not only are going to just vary. I mean, I was going to say my opinion varies depending on who you are. Yeah, that's how opinions work. But what I really mean by that is, I absolutely get why somebody would not like this course very much, because it is kind of just like, here's a bunch of turns in the snow, enjoy. But I like the cadence of all these turns. I knew they were going to jump. That was pretty awesome. Like, just going back and forth, like slaloming through the snow. This is actually a course that I think might be helped by the snow physics here. It gives the course a really nice flow in a way that I think if the road weren't a little bit slick, I'm not sure I would even enjoy it as much. I think this is going to hang on, which would not have been my bet. Oops. Man, though, a lot of these courses are getting pretty close in quality, which is kind of what I thought would happen right as we got to the middle of the list. But yeah, I know it might be controversial to have this one so high, given it's just a bunch of turns in the snow, but just a bunch of the turns in the snow, as GCN Yoshi Circuit proved, sometimes if you just make a bunch of turns that are just right, you can elevate a course. And I think Sherbet Land has been elevated to the, well, it's still in the 38th position. So moving on to our next ice level, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. I gotta say, I think it's got its work cut out for it. I thought the Frozen Lake section in Sherbet Land might hurt its chances, but it was shorter than I remember. But I'm pretty sure, in comparison, direct comparison, Rosalina's Ice World might be in trouble here because that Frozen Lake section is pretty goddamn long in this course. It'll make me sad because I've always liked this course and I've always thought it's gotten bullied, not just in this game but in 3DS. A lot of people seem to absolutely hate this course, and I think part of it is the fact that it might have the single most boring name it possibly could have had. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I guess it has something to do with Rosalina, but it's kind of forced. That sucked, because I was really wanting to do this. That did not feel... Well, oh, that counts as a second, even though there's no, like, thing there? That has to be intentional for them to give him that car. I'm not really getting a good feel for this track right now. I also never go this route, so I'm really fucking things up here as far as my comparisons go. I'm really going to have to pay a lot more attention on lap 2. Yeah, as expected, this stretch in the middle is not helping things for Rosalina's Ice World here. I feel like that section I had to drift a lot more on the 3DS. Maybe that's just an inward drift, outward drift sort of deal. I remember that section being a lot more fun than it is here. 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. We're going to have to take a look at this one. My gut says, let's take a look at the rankings here. I think where this is probably going to slot in is... so, I think I like it more than Music Park still. I think I could probably flip a coin on Twisted Mansion. It's funny because the problems I have with Twisted Mansion and this course are pretty similar, but I think this course has a little bit more variety in its beginning and ending, that it slightly overcomes its straightaway more than Twisted Mansion. Piranha Plant Cove. My gut is telling me Rosalina's Ice World over Piranha Plant Cove. Because I do really like the beginning, and it's really that Ice Lake section, man. If that Ice Lake section were better, this course would not be falling as far, but I think it is going to slot below Tour Amsterdam Drift. I think it is going to be number 44 for Rosalina's Ice World. Really, could probably be 45th, give or take. I'm going to go ahead and give it the advantage because it started on the list higher over Twisted Mansion, but similar issues, similar pros, similar cons. It's just Rosalina's Ice World has higher pros and lower cons, basically, than Twisted Mansion. So go ahead and take your pick on those two. But that means GCN Sherbet Land is still our leader. But we gotta take a look at Tour Singapore Speedway, another city course. Feel like there might be slight fall here for Tour Singapore Speedway. That's what my gut says, but we'll take a look. If anything's really gonna hurt this course, it's this opening straightaway, having to do this twice in the course. That is just not very... I mean, I guess there is a pretty long... It would really help if I could fucking drive the car. That would also really help this course's chances. Boy, this is a real fucking long straight, isn't it? This is definitely building as it goes. Originally, I was going to say this has a Vancouver velocity collapse. I'm not quite sure it's going to be that rough. It's actually coming back quite a bit here. Yeah, but then it throws a straightaway like this at me. That honestly felt very similar to 3DS Rosalina's Ice World to me, in terms of quality. Felt very, very similar. So it's funny because I technically placed those two together. Turns out I was right to place them both together. It turns out I think I was wrong to place them high as they were. Part of me wants to give it to Rosalina's Ice World over that. Because... You know how I said Rosalina's Ice World has stronger pros and cons than Twisted Mansion? Singapore Speedway has the exact same pros and cons as Rosalina's Ice World, but even stronger still. Okay, I'm gonna have to just revert to my rule and say that Tour Singapore Speedway defeats 3DS Rosalina Ice World. I think I would rather play Piranha Plant Cove than either of them, personally. So I think Tour Amsterdam Drift is now our... No, what the fuck am I talking about? Tour Singapore Speedway is... I would definitely rather play Amsterdam Drift. Amsterdam Drift has better pacing, I think. And better music, honestly. And I would definitely rather play... I think I would definitely rather play Piranha Plant Cove. So I guess that means that Tour Singapore Speedway is our new number 43. So I think those... Kind of funny that it fell equally as much as Rosalina's Ice World. No wonder I grouped them together in my mind. It turns out very similar, and they were in the same episode as well, so that's probably why that was accomplished that way. Okay, so next up we have Wii Moonview Highway, which I think might have some upward trajectory here, but we'll see. Really wish the entry into the city were just a little bit shorter. It feels like a spot where on the Wii you'd be like, eh, well, I'll just wheelie. But not being able to wheelie is a problem, but now that I'm weaving through traffic here... Ah! That actually just raised the course a little bit. That's why I love traffic courses. That was a fucking jump scare there. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. I don't think I have any notes on that, and I have no idea what to do with it. Because every single moment where I thought I might... I mean, I guess I'm going to leave it where it is. It's like every single moment where I'm like, I don't know. I think I had more fun on a previous track. There was... What the fuck was the camera doing there? There was like a moment where all of a sudden... It was like every time I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit of downtime. I'd turn the corner and then all of a sudden I'd be like, I gotta weave through traffic right now. But also part of me feels bad rating that above Berlin Byways, because I mean, I think Berlin Byways has some more interesting traffic dynamics, but doesn't have bomb cars. That fucking bomb car, I think, is what's gonna leave Moonview Highway at number 35 here. That bomb car represented the potential this course has for fun. In many ways, that was also a very good, much like how I think that was a perfect representation of that course, much in the same way the Ninja Hideaway playthrough was a perfect representation of that course. Because every time I think about this course, I think, yeah, but it's just like a bunch of fucking boosters. Like, I don't know, like it's just straightaways with boosters. And then the fucking bomb car was like, hey, motherfucker, it's still scary. Yeah, so Moonview Highway, I think, is going to go ahead and stay at number 35. Folks, it is finally time. Actually, I don't think I have to play Los Angeles Laps. I think I'm happy where it is. No, we are absolutely playing, after fucking talking about it the whole goddamn series, saying, I don't know about Los Angeles Laps, guys. Let's finally fucking see how I feel about Los Angeles Laps after everything we have been through. I'm not going to sit here and tell a damn story about traffic routes here. We're just going to play the fucking course. I think a lot of my pros still stand up in terms of I like the variety of this course. I just don't know how fun it is to drive. My gut feeling partway into Section 2 here is this is going to need to come down. My suspicion was right. I don't think LA Laps, after everything that it has gone through, after everything I have been through, is going to hold up here. But there is a final section. But there's just a little too many downtime spots, like right there, and at the end of Section 1, where it's just could use a little more going on here. I think this is actually going to come down quite a bit the longer this goes. Go fuck yourself, Mr. Boom. Go fuck yourself, Mr. Shell. I awarded this course points for it's a good showcase of not just you're just driving the streets of LA. It's good pointing like you got the Santa Monica Pier. I'm assuming that's what this is supposed to be. You got like the oil fields, Dodger Stadium, the beach. The layout just I don't think is quite there. I don't think this is going to need to come down. My gut is telling me that I actually enjoyed Singapore Speedway and Rosalina's Ice World a little bit more. I'll be right back. There's something I need to check. Okay, folks. I finally returned here. Well, I say finally, but really it's probably only been like, I don't know, 10 minutes in real time for me. So I guess this is the final payoff for me saying I think Los Angeles Laps is too high. So what I just did there was before I started this session, because it's been a few hours removed from the last time I played, which is removed from when I was playing yesterday. And I was like, I'll just replay Cloudtop Cruise and Ribbon Road, because looking above it, yeah, I don't think anything above it's gonna fall below those two courses, right? And then that one, I was just like, well, I don't know about Los Angeles Laps. So I'm like, I better do a lap on Twisted Mansion, just to make sure. And I'm like, I'm enjoying Twisted Mansion more than I think I just enjoyed LA Laps. Maybe Grumble Volcano will have a shot. I think I'm enjoying Grumble Volcano a little more than that lap that I just had. I'll give it a shot against DS Mario Circuit. I'll run a lap in DS Mario Circuit. I think I'm preferring DS Mario Circuit over LA Laps. LA Laps is going to be our new number 51. I did go to Bangkok Rush, and The long drive underneath the train tunnel in Bangkok Rush is what is going to cement it as being worse than LA Laps, but not by much. So I think that might be our worst collapse of the series so far. Damn near 20 slots. I don't remember how far Vancouver Velocity fell, but some of these city tracks that went early in the rotation, I think, benefited heavily from being early in the rotation. And it has further cemented my opinion that doing this final round here in this method is going to result in a more correct list. So Tour Los Angeles Laps collapsing from 34th down to 52nd. My apologies to the city of LA. You've got a little bit of a right. Wait, no, that's wrong. It's 51st. My apologies to the city of LA. Your track, it's got variety, but it's the layout. Truthfully, I could probably have sent it even lower, but I just wasn't willing to send it any lower than Bangkok there. And at some point, I gotta actually move on. So, real rough time there for LA Laps. Let's go back to the thing. Now our current leader is still Wii Moonview Highway. But can DK Summit prevail over the top of it? If this were Mario Kart Wii, I would say absolutely not. Wii Moonview Highway is a much better course. But this ain't Mario Kart Wii now, is it? We've got Ultra Mini Turbos to pull off in the two hairpin turns in the middle of the course. We've got absurdly broken and stupid halfpipe physics that are weird. Which I suppose you could argue against this course, but I kind of love how stupid and weird they are. I'm sure that's not the fastest way to do that, but I'm going to do it every time, because it just is so, like, jank, but in the best possible way. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to need 2 more laps to make a call here. DK Summit's a pretty damn good course in this game. I know that is... Mario Kart Wii purists may disagree. Mario Kart Wii purists may think that it was much better in Mario Kart Wii. I don't know, there's something about this course in this version. I just think the mini turbos and the trick heights and everything have gone a long way for this course for me. When they said they were bringing this course back, I'm like, really, this course? But now that they've brought it back, especially because I'm like, well, I mean, Wario's there. But now that they brought it back, and it's got half pipes, I don't know, this course feels pretty damn good. Like that felt perfect execution. That was real good, honestly. So yeah, congratulations, DK Summit. I'm going to go ahead and call it, even though we still have a lap to go. Well, I say I'm calling it, but I'm finishing the fucking race. But it is going to remain... I keep trying to eye the board while doing this, so I don't freaking know why. Oh, when you get stuck in the snow, it actually adds frost to your screen? I don't think I've ever noticed that. Does that happen in every other course? I know it happens when you're underwater and, like, wherever the hell I was earlier. GCN. Yeah, ooh. That little exchange there feels so good. This thing might actually have upward movement. Which is something I never thought I'd think about with DK Summit, because it's never been one of my favorites. I just think it feels so much better in this game than it did in Wii. DK Summit is our 33rd course. It is the current leader on the board of courses that have been ranked. And I think it's got a pretty good shot at beating our next course, Sweet Sweet Canyon. I flat out said while I was racing this that I'm not sure if Sweet Sweet Canyon benefited too much from the post 3DS Rainbow Road glow. We shall find out. Like right there. Oops. Like right there. It's like technically there's a tiny little straight there, but they put 2 coins in, so I didn't feel like I was doing nothing. Because tiny little straights are just fine. Obviously, you're always going to have a straight here, because, like, what the fuck else are you going to do at the start of the course? My gut says that DK Summit has this. I don't know if... I think I would probably still take this over Wii Moonview Highway, honestly. I thought that I may have overrated this. I guess you could say that I did, because it is going to probably move down 1, but it's only going to move down 1. Yeah, I think this is a nice little course that just a lot of people overlook. It's actually kind of in that, I mean, I know it's weird to say because we're kind of removed a few entries from it now. Actually, how many entries are we removed from GBA? I guess we're not that far from GCN Sherbet Land. It reminds me a lot of GCN Sherbet Land. Like, sometimes you just give the player a bunch of satisfying turns in a row. It's not the most mind-blowing course in the world, but it just feels good to play. And this is a course that just feels good to play. And the fact that it's in the Mushroom Cup is pretty sweet. I think it's probably up there. I would say that it is up there with Toad Factory. Actually, I think I prefer this over Toad's Factory. I think maybe a little bit of the love for Toad's Factory is slightly overstated, but I do really, really like that course. It's impossible to compare the two because they're in 2 different games, but if you gave me a short list of the best Mushroom Cup courses of all time, it would be this and Toad Factory, and maybe Shy Guy Bazaar. I'm not 100% sure about Shy Guy Bazaar. I do think that if that is not in the conversation with those two, it is only slightly below it. But we do need to move Sweet Sweet Canyon, but it ain't gonna move far. It was just... It wasn't so much that Sweet Sweet Canyon lost. It was that Wii DK Summit won that matchup. So Wii DK Summit has moved up to 32nd and remains our leader. Moving on to Toad Harbor. I'm not sure which way this one's going to go. This is one of those courses where I feel like I've had a roller coaster of emotion with it, because I always would have told you that it was one of the better courses in the game, but I think the last lap I took on it kind of made me realize that maybe I don't feel that strongly about it anymore, but it's still pretty good. I do really like this, with an inside drift bike. That turn, mwah. It's right here. Right here is the moment. You don't have that problem in Sweet Sweet Canyon. You don't have that problem in DK Summit. And this also isn't the most engaging thing in the world, but at least there's boosters. And I don't know, that kind of just makes me feel like more is happening than it really is. And I'm not actually, like, if I were nitpicking, I would say that that's a problem, but also it's kind of fun. Look, if Mute City can get away with just being a bunch of boosters on a straightaway, this course can get away with a couple boosters on it straight away, and I'm not going to hold it that hard against it. What I am going to hold hard against it is well, I'm not going to hold hard against it, I'm going to hold it... Jesus fucking Christ, I've forgotten how to play the video game, apparently. I think part of me likes going that bottom route. Not that I intended to go that way. Because it's more fun. Because you end up getting like an extra mini turbo out of it. This is going to be good. Okay. I don't know. I don't know where this one's going to end up. I'm going to have to look at what's... This Moonview Highway was just below this. Below Sweet Sweet, right? Where is that section? I mean, I guess it's shorter than the one in Rosalina's Ice World. That section just doesn't bother me as much as maybe Rosalina's Ice World did. That still feels pretty good. I think that is going to fall, but I don't think it's going to fall far. I think it is going to go ahead and be our new number 33. So falling below, just to take a look at the board. so you can visualize it. Falling below Sweet Sweet Canyon, but still a respectable showing for Toad Harbor. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a nice little course. We're at the point where I feel like these courses are really, I would say, like, honestly, once we hit I would say once you hit Tour Amsterdam Drift on this list as it is currently, like, what that up, any one of those courses could probably beat any other course on any other day. And I would perfectly understand any order for those, but I think today, DK Summit and Sweet Sweet Canyon have just defeated Toad Harbor. Another course coming up here where I'm not sure which way this is going to go. This could go much higher, because I've given it some thought, and I think maybe I underrated this course slightly. But it does have one section which I wouldn't call, it's not as dead as like that long straightaway in Toad Harbor just was. Which I say long, but I'm really nitpicking at this point. Like, the section in Rosalina's Ice World is long. That straightaway in Toad Harbor is not super long. It just sticks out compared to the courses that I've just played before it. So, anyways, Waluigi Stadium. Part of me's thinking this could go somewhere, but I'm also eyeing the fact the course is just above it, and it's got to battle if it's going to go somewhere. But first, it's got to win against DK Summit. Or more accurately, I guess DK Summit might have to try and win against it. It would really help if I weren't driving like absolute shit, but actually the fact that I recovered that kind of made me appreciate that more. It's funny because I always thought half pipes were kind of like a pointless thing, and I was like, didn't feel anything when they were removed. I feel like they've become good in this game in a way they weren't in. I mean, there were points in Wii where they were good. I think it's because they give you so much fucking boost in this game when you come off of them in a way that I feel like they didn't in Wii. Oh man, that turns... Oh shit, we got a battle here. You know, I was just talking about tiers. I think Wii DK Summit and GCN Waluigi are actually the start of a new tier compared to some of the courses that I just listed earlier. I think I've been sleeping on this course a little bit. I think I've been sleeping on both of them a little bit. It's like I'm driving this section like shit, but I don't care, because I'm like trying to figure out the right way to drive it, and I feel like even when I'm fucking it up, it feels pretty good. It's just this bit right here. It's just the tiniest bit of downtime in the middle of that course, but it's not much. I thought I might feel it more than I did. I'm drifting. Game. I was holding the button. Guys, I think Waluigi Stadium has just cemented its victory over Wii DK Summit. I think both of those, I think this course has some real upward momentum. Although, if it's got real upward momentum, there's a chance that it's going to get blocked by DS Shroom Ridge, which is our next course. Again, if the difference is here, it's going to be traffic, because you know I love traffic. The currently ranked best traditional traffic course in the game depends on whether or not you count Super Bell's Subway. If you just want to say straight up best traffic course in the game, in my opinion. Oh man. If I had made that exchange, I think this thing was just instantly going to win against Waluigi. Stadium, because, man, this game's pretty fucking good. Because I keep thinking of these, like, surely in this range I'm gonna find one of these courses where it's clearly worse than the rest, right? I think I am gonna have to give it to Waluigi Stadium. But I think this beats DK Summit. Well, I don't... Oh, I'm such a sucker for traffic, though. Weaving in and out of these cars. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel when I started getting to the top of the list. You know, it's getting real fucking tough. DS Shroom Ridge wins. That's an any given Sunday clause one, though. I think both of those courses have upward momentum. I know that's ugly. I know that course is ugly, ugly, ugly. I don't fucking care. Like, I think maybe it's because I'm in an inside drift bike. Fucking weaving in and out of traffic on that ridge is so goddamn fun. And we're only at number 29, so we got a gauntlet of cities coming up, though, so maybe one of the cities will fall, and I'm looking upward towards Shy Guy Falls, and I'm a little concerned about its chances against the courses that I've just played. Maybe I've overrated Shy Guy Falls there. So, first of our gauntlet of cities here. The newest and last city, Tour Madrid Drive. Truthfully, I think its layout's probably worse than the three courses that I have played before it. But the music might carry it. Because I fucking love this music. One lap in, Madrid's doing pretty okay. But it does have this stretch right here. And Shroom Ridge, though, did have its, that straightaway, too. Oh! I don't know how I'm going to edit this one, because I basically didn't talk, because I was so doing the mental calculus of where that was going to end up at all moments of that. I think I came to a conclusion. I'm going to be honest, I thought maybe recency bias had sort of propelled it too far up the list. It is going to fall, but it is not going to fall very far at all. It will fall below DS Shroom Ridge and Waluigi Stadium because there are just a couple of spots in there. I think that third section sort of really cemented that it was a little bit below those two. I'm still going to give it over Wii DK Summit because it just has a more engaging layout. And the fucking person who wrote that goddamn music for that course deserves a fucking medal because it just feels energetic as you're driving there. I mean, like, really, I feel like if I were to just fucking, like, part of me wants to play London Loop right now because it is so much, like, just to show the gap in quality between those two courses. Like, this is so much better than that course. I feel bad that I'm moving it down, but we are at that point in the process where it's just going to have to happen. And so Tour Madrid Drive has fallen to number 30 so far. But how will it fare against... Oh, I should probably show that ranking. Tour Madrid Drive. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, really, Wii DK Summit. Sweet Canyon is where things start getting real good. Definitely Wii DK Summit. Maybe a little less Sweet Canyon. I didn't think I'd start feeling this strongly about some of these some of these courses until we get a little higher up in the list. I am a little worried about Rainbow Road and N64 Royal Raceway and Shy Guy Falls, but I'm also eager to play them, so maybe that is a good sign for them. But we have a battle of the newest cities. What about Rome Avanti? I think part of my problem with Rome Avanti is the second lap is awkward, but I think this is something I'm getting over time, so maybe that is not going to be a factor here. Part of me doesn't want to move it that far up because of that, because of the sort of, like, I know if I'm playing this with my friends for the first time and they haven't memorized this course, they're probably going to be a little pissed. But we'll see here. We're underway in the motherland of Mr. Mario. My impression after the first section is that this is going to need to come down. This doesn't have nearly the furious energy of Madrid, which is kind of what my initial impression of was, and I thought it was getting over that over time, but really playing them back-to-back, I'm feeling a significant difference in enjoyment. Whoa! That helped it a little bit. Yeah, we're approaching the end of section 3 here, and I think this is going to need to come down a few spots. Not super far. It's very Toad Harbor-ish level to me. Very Toad Harbor-ish in terms of quality. Which is perfectly respectable. I think I would actually still take Sweet Sweet Canyon over that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the board. Rome Avanti. Playing that back-to-back with Madrid Drive, though, that was... Madrid Drive, I felt like... I was like... The music fucking had me just pumped during Madrid Drive, and I really only felt myself coming down from that high once I hit the third section, and there's a little bit less before you actually hit the stadium there. It feels aggressive, and it feels like Madrid has just more going on, where this is like, it's Rome, and there's stairs. Obviously, you have the Colosseum at the beginning and halfway through, but honestly, the second lap through the Colosseum, I realized I don't like that portion as much as I thought I did. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and give it the edge over Toad Harbor. So this will be our new number 32. So not the worst collapse in the world. In fact, it's really not far... Wait. New number 30... Is it 32 or 30? Well, I'll write 32 here. My brain has stopped working. Yes, new number 32 for Tour Rome Avanti. Not quite. It's only a few spots below Tour Madrid Drive, but I feel like there's a surprising jump in quality right around Sweet Sweet Canyon and Wii DK Summit. Because I felt like that was pretty definitively not as good as Madrid Drive, which is initially how I felt about the two. I felt really good about Madrid the first time I played it, and I feel like that's still held up. It's just that I love cars too much in Shroom Ridge, and Waluigi Stadium is pretty goddamn good. So, we have our final city. Well, real city, because we have Mute City and we have Neo Bowser City, but we must go to Athens. My gut is that Athens is probably going to fall because it is more lethargically paced. Well, I say lethargically, that's too much of an insult. The pacing just isn't quite to the level that I think Madrid Drive definitely has. But it does have a little bit of visual variety. In terms of, I like the concept of like a temple on a mountain and you keep going up and down the mountain each lap. But we're underway in Athens. I'm now in the third section here. Still not quite sure what to think here. I will tell you right now, I enjoyed that more than Roma Avanti. And I believe I enjoyed that more than Sweet Sweet Canyon. And I do believe I have enjoyed that more than Wii DK Summit. But we have the ultimate question for Mario Kart Tour of which is the ultimate city. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have to give it to... For about 2 sections there, I was gonna give it to Madrid Drive. That final section started feeling better. I'm gonna go ahead and say Athens Dash and Madrid Drive flip a coin, and because Athens Dash was already placed higher, Athens Dash is going to get the any given Sunday rule. I apologize for saying that. I don't fucking know why I keep using that phrase. And I realize I've used it so many times and went so long without explaining it earlier in the thing that I'm probably going to have to add it to my... I'm probably going to have to add it to my intro narration so that people who don't know American football or that phrase have a fucking clue what I'm talking about before halfway through the process. So... What the fuck did I just say? Oh yeah, GCN Waluigi Stadium and DS Shroom Ridge both defeat Athens Dash, but it is still good. It is still our new number 28. It just didn't quite give me the same level as... I mean, Tour Madrid Drive is pretty fucking close. That is like... You could blindfold me. I don't know what blindfolding me would accomplish. I would pick either one any day, and I just realized I wrote the wrong thing. Here, I think I just accidentally placed it below. Let me refresh here. Pure Athens Dash is going to hold on. It, in terms of the list is concerned, is going to be declared the greatest real city track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But truthfully, it's a co-champion with Madrid Drive. Go ahead and flip a coin on that one, folks. Those are both... Really, you could tell just here, those city tracks got a lot better towards the end. And I mean a lot better, I feel like. Amsterdam Drift is fine, but it is definitely like tiers below those 3 tracks. So, yeah. Pick one of those. You're not going to go that wrong with any one of those 3 tracks, and especially Athens Dash and Madrid Drive. I was very curious, honestly, as to what the answer was going to be there with those 3 in a row. My actual bet going into it was that Roma Avanti was going to take it, so I'm glad I didn't bet on myself because I would have been a loser. Speaking of potential losers and potential winners, we have Shy Guy Falls to test next, and I am a little concerned here. I think it may have benefited from how early it went in the process, but we shall see. This is why we're doing the science. It's such a neat fucking concept for a course. Like, we're gonna have to appreciate it for that, first of all. That section feels pretty damn good. I don't know if it really feels as good as anything that's in Wario or Waluigi Stadium, but... We're 2 laps in and I'm feeling it's a lot more now, I think, than I was on the first lap. After the first lap, if you had asked me, I said it was not going to defeat Madrid Drive. I think it is defeating Madrid Drive. I think it might be doing a little more than that, too. Guys, Shy Guy Sunday is still a pretty goddamn good track. I think I have not been convinced to put any course above Shy Guy Falls. I think, did I say Shy Guy Falls the first time? I definitely said it now. But I think Shy Guy Falls is still our number 25, which honestly, looking at the list of courses below that, I wouldn't have bet it. I think Waluigi Stadium... I think the Shy Guy Falls, Shroom Ridge, Waluigi Stadium 1, 2, 3 there is very, very good. I think a compelling argument could be made to move Waluigi Stadium and Shroom Ridge above it, but I don't think it was compelling enough for me to do it right now. So, Shy Guy Falls, still number 25. Congratulations. We got one of the highest rated circuits in the game here with Royal Raceway and the highest rated N64 track. I've not been keeping track of where the games have all rated because I guess there probably really isn't much of a point until it's done. But maybe it's nice to check in every now and then. So we are now in position 24, and Royal Raceway has stepped up to the bat. We are 2 laps into Royal Raceway here. My gut says that this is not as good as Madrid Drive. Ironically, Royal Raceway's most iconic feature from the N64, the big jump, might be the problem with this course. Because everything leading up to it and out of it is really good, and then you kind of just drive forward for a bit. Not that it's... Again, this is... When I say you just drive forward for a bit, when we're at this level of quality in these courses, that is a nitpick level. This is not like fucking Twisted Mansion and Rosalina's Ice World, where you like really just feel like nothing's happening. Things are happening. It's more just like I'm thinking on a level of criticality that is normally not necessary to enjoy a course. I think that was still a perfectly fun time. I just think that it wasn't quite Madrid Drive level. I'm honestly not sure it was DK Summit level. Very similar to Squeaky Canyon, honestly. In fact, I like the same thing about both of those courses. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it over Sweet Canyon. I don't think I'm going to give it DK Summit. So N64 Royal Raceway will be falling a few positions here. Again, I honestly don't even feel like that was a battle that it lost. I just feel like it was a battle that all of the courses below it won. So I believe that makes it our new number 30. So it's sad because it's falling like 7 positions, but it's still a really good course. Just has some stiff competition. N64 Royal Raceway is our number 30, which means Shy Guy Falls is still the leader, and we have our 3rd Rainbow Road. It's been a while since we've gone to Rainbow Road. Is Wii U Rainbow Road? Generally, I've always thought of it as being pretty underrated, but given the strength of the courses that I have just raced on, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Part of me is looking at the list and still feeling like bad for rating Shroom Ridge as high as I have, but traffic, man. Traffic. I gotta say, having not been on a Rainbow Road in a while, the last time I raced this, I thought, this is less colorful than I remember, and this time I'm thinking, this is a lot more colorful than I remember. Alright, we are at the end of our race on Rainbow Road. I think I'm coming to some conclusions, but I need to look at the board. It is going to fall, but it is not going to fall far. I still think it is a very good course. I think the people who shit on that version of Rainbow Road are wrong. I think that is a pretty good course. More than pretty good, honestly. My gut says that I like it more than Athens Dash. It's kind of hard because, like, I'm not sure I had as much fun just now on Rainbow Road as I did on Athens Dash, but I also think that's because I'm kind of coming off the high of these 3 courses. And I also think that that race kind of sucked because I basically got hit by a red shell every single time during the opening turns, which made me not really get a feel for them, even though that's my favorite part of the course. So I am just going to go ahead and say that it is better than Athens Dash, because basically, even without the real joy of the opening turns there, I still had a good time on the rest of the course. and I don't think it has quite the level of, like... So Madrid Drive is pretty damn good throughout its first 2 sections. It's just that third section hurts it. Athens Dash doesn't quite have the pacing that Wii Rainbow Road is. So that, I think, and GCN Waluigi Stadium definitely is better. So I had a feeling GCN Waluigi Stadium might have legs, and it and Shroom Ridge are really teaming up here to keep moving up the board. So where the fuck does this go? 26, right? Yeah, I think that's right. Wii U Rainbow Road is now 26. Not a bad fall. Still, very respectable position. Near the top of the board. Yeah. Wait, let me make sure. I just realized I wasn't actually double checking my work. Yes, okay, 27, or 26. I kind of want to take a look at the rankings here because my OBS has been covering them the whole time. Let's take just a very quick look here. The Special Cup is doing great as expected. The Star Cup is, well, actually, I shouldn't say as expected because a lot of people think that the Special Cup is overrated. We shall see. Or actually, they flat out hate it. I got a bad feeling about Bowser's Castle falling a little bit, but I've had a bad feeling about a lot of these courses, and they held up. So the Star Cup, which I thought had a really good shot of winning here, is falling behind the pace. But also, I've really discounted how many good tracks are in the Bell Cup. I really think the Bell Cup is still going to run away with it. I'm not going through all these. Bell Cup, I would have bet that was it. Wii U has overtaken 3DS thanks to, I think, probably most Rosalina's Ice World. But it is still very close, and we have some 3DS tracks further up the board that could move around. And obviously a lot of Wii U tracks up there that can move around, both of which are far outpacing the Wii, the Booster Pass Tour non-city courses. DS, I believe, was behind Tour at the start of this. It has overtaken Tour, as I realized that, yes, Los Angeles Laps was overrated in my own list, along with Vancouver Velocity and Bangkok Rush. Really, a lot of those city tracks, when you start playing them next to real tracks, well, I guess real tracks is kind of an insult, but you know what I mean. And then the rest of these, not a surprise at all, I think. Oh, actually, GBA has overtaken N64, which is the devil, several times over now. Hopefully one of those moves. But I get a feeling that it may not. So that might be our final N64 average. Not quite the 64 that I wanted. And SNES is in last, is no surprise. Vanilla Overbooster, we all knew that. The Wii U DLC has overtaken the 6th wave of the Booster Pass thanks to Rosalina's Ice World falling down a little bit. I don't think any of these other ones have changed, though. Alright, so next up is Wild Woods. Wild Woods is up next for evaluation here. Can it hold up to Shy Guy Falls? Really expected Shy Guy Falls to fall. I didn't expect that to be a joke when I started that sentence, but it didn't. It was, I realized that I think my pacing issues I had with that course were a little overblown. They were a little overblown, just like my engine. Okay, well, I might have to check the left trigger. I might have to check how my left finger is feeling, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I've never accidentally let minute go of... I can probably count on like one hand the number of times I remember accidentally letting go of an item in this game, and I've done it like 20 times per race. Alright, I basically said nothing for the entire rest of the race there, because I was really just absorbing how good that course is. Not that I think it's going to go to the moon here, but I That is a flip a coin against Shy Guy Falls, I think, which means the advantage goes to Wild Woods. Now number 22nd. Now number 22nd, Wild Woods. We move on to Wii Maple Treeway. Wii Maple Treeway. I got a feeling this one might fall. I'm saying that about every single fucking course, so I don't know. I'm gonna be editing this, so I should probably just tell myself right now, fucking cut out 99% of the times you say, I really think this one's gonna fall. I will say I'm approaching lap 3 here. My gut is telling me I had more fun on Madrid Drive. So I do think this is going to slide. I don't know how far. Well, I was feeling that a little more in the third lap. It's gonna fall. It's definitely gonna fall. I don't know how far. So let's go ahead and look at the rankings. I would definitely take Waluigi Stadium over what I just played. I think I would take Rainbow Road. I know I said while I was playing it I would take Madrid Drive. Part of me is thinking I should probably move Rainbow Road further down, honestly. I'm not going to. I think it's fine where it is. It's better than Wii DK Summit. Definitely better than Wii DK Summit. I'm going to need another... I'm not going to do a full race. I'm going to go to time trials on Wii Rainbow Road, or Wii U Rainbow Road, because of those red shells were really like fucking with my brain there. So I will be right back. Yeah, I think those red shells. I don't know what to do about items at this point, because the reason items have been left on is because I feel like, first of all, it's essential to the Mario Kart experience, and second of all, certain courses you need it. I think when I got hit by Rome Avanti, when I got hit in Paris Promenade when we were going backward, Baby Park in its entirety need items in order to really, like, that's part of the Mario Kart experience, so I really feel good about having items on. Part of me is wondering if it's really beneficial for the rest of the list going up, because I feel like none of those courses really benefit from it. But in the interest, I think it's more or less I'm just going to keep doing it, and if I encounter a weird scenario like that, I'm just going to go ahead and go to time trial, run a quick lap, and see how I feel. Because I think that was I think truly the first course that really got drafted because of items in this second run through, kind of like Big Blue did in the first run through. It's not going to move from where it is, because I was considering moving it below Madrid Drive. I do think Waluigi Stadium is still better regardless. It was more just I was wondering if I was going to move it below Madrid Drive, and I'm not. And I also can confirm that I enjoyed that lap on Rainbow Road more than I think I enjoyed Maple Treeway. So I think that is going to be... okay, so we're looking at Athens Dash, we're looking at Madrid Drive. As far as I'm concerned, those are tied. So either Maple Treeway is going to go above Athens Dash, or it is going to go below Madrid Drive. I think I'm going to put it below Madrid Drive. Because of the music of Madrid Drive. I felt much more pumped, I think, driving Madrid Drive than I just did Maple Treeway. In a couple of ways, I think I felt a little more pumped playing DK Summit, but I also think that I just like watching the... I mean, I like it. Nah, I think I still like Wii Maple Treeway more than DK Summit. So I think Wii Maple Treeway is going to fall to 28th place. Wii Maple Treeway, 28th place. Just doesn't quite have the same impact that it did on Wii, but also I kind of feel like that even the version on Wii, when I play them, it doesn't quite have the same impact that it used to. So, what is next? We got Bone Dry Dunes. I think this one may come down a little bit. I am still adamant that it is a very good course, but we'll see, because I'm just looking at it. Those runs on Shroom Ridge and Waluigi Stadium and Shy Guy Falls and Wild Woods in particular were all very good. Still maintain this is a very good course, and that it gets unfairly shit on because all desert courses are bad. All desert courses are bad because I can't actually look at the course's layout. I just have to look at sand and then I say bad. Come on, people. That fucking turn is so good. That might be one of my favorite turns in the whole game right there. Like, that little execution. You're calling this course bad. My gut reaction is the haters of this course can kiss my ass, because Bone Dry Dunes has stood up to the test. Bone Dry Dunes is leading the pack. Still, out of those courses, after everything that we have gone through, that course is so good on a technical level. Not the best theme in the world. Admittedly, I was just shitting on people who hate desert courses because they're in a desert. It's not the most ambitious desert theme. It is interesting, though. I think there's a little bit more they could have done with that. I still don't like that there is a left path that does absolutely nothing, because it is basically like, why would you ever go that way? But man, that exchange when you hit, like, you really have to have good handling on your fucking car to navigate that section with the dry piranha plant, the first dry piranha plant, a little split road there, and then still take that right route. When you nail that, it feels about as good as anything in this game can possibly feel. And I think that is almost a testament to just how good the driving model is in this game, that feels like real good, like, racing shit. That is a really good course. I'm sorry, that is number 20. That is Defeated Wild Woods, Shy Guy Falls, DS Shroom Ridge. And a small part of me is very pleased to still report that, because that course kicks ass. Let's see what else kicks ass. Is it Link? Because we're going to Hyrule Circuit. Alright, it's technically been like 10 minutes because I realized that I had basically just been sitting through, like, I don't have any idea how many tracks I just did in a row without really moving, and my butt hurt. So, I don't think it's been too long that it's going to really hurt the rankings. But let's see. Have a feeling, well, I'm not even going to say it, because I've said it so many fucking times in this goddamn game, because I keep feeling like one of these courses is going to disappoint me, and they rarely do, which I think is just a sign to testament to how just fucking amazing this game is. Hyrule Circuit. One lap in, and I'm feeling pretty good about Hyrule Circuit. I wouldn't say, like, yeah, it's definitively defeated the previous entries on the list. I think it's more that everything on this list at this point is close enough in quality that I'm not sure I'm willing to overturn it based on my current run. And I think that's the first time that I have personally activated the shortcut just by myself. That felt fucking great. And I can't believe I've never tried doing that before. Not gonna lie, literally the fact that I just did that, I don't know why. Usually, for some reason in my head, that I think that for some reason just like, well, one person can't do it. And I've never just thought to just like fucking tap the brakes. And I think that maybe just cemented its position. Because that was, I gotta do it again. No, oh, fuck it. That adds a whole new mechanic to the game. Because in my head, I'm just like, you need more people to do it. You kind of just gotta hope. I can't believe I haven't tried to do that just by myself before. I think I have not been given sufficient evidence to move Hyrule Circuit down the board. I think Hyrule Circuit is still in the lead. Kind of thought that was not going to be the case. I kind of thought that it was probably going to fall right above Shroom Ridge if I were a betting man. I didn't think it was going to fall far. But again, we're just at the point where something's really going to have to feel different in quality for me to have to move it. But we're also at the point in the list where we must play Mute City again. Mute City, perhaps the greatest disappointment out of anything for me in the initial run-throughs, when I realized that so much of the course is just driving forward into boosters. So I'm kind of probably going to be quiet during this run, because I found that that is helping me a little bit to sort of really determine in my gut, like, yeah, this is good, and yeah, this is bad. Let's see if Captain Falcon can deliver a tackle punch to the ratings. All right. That's the second lap on Mute City. I'm going to need to think about this one. That music sounds very happy for Mute City, but I don't think it's actually going to be happy with whether that's about to happen. I think I got to move Mute City further down the board. Man, this is a story of a man falling out of love with a course here. I can't unsee now. Just kind of how little happens in the middle of this course. I don't think it's still fun. It is still fun. I think I would take it over Rainbow Road. Well, would I? No, uh-oh. I would take it over Maple Treeway and DK Summit. It's very in that range, I think. Because, keep in mind, DK Summit is still a very fun course. I think it's got similar strengths and weaknesses to DK Summit. I actually think now I've said that, I think I take Wii DK Summit over it. Mute City is having a second catastrophic collapse. I thought it was going to be top 3, and I think I'm going to have to place it at 30th. Fuck me. Oh, boy. Let me just double-check my feelings on that. I definitely had a better time with Waluigi Stadium. I definitely had a better time with Madrid Drive than Stitches now. I think I'm almost not sure if part of it is just me realizing now that I'm looking at it super hypercritically, that I might be looking at it too critically, and over time those feelings that I once had would return. But I suppose I now know what it feels like to break up with someone, and I think I'm going to have to break up with Mute City here. I think Mute City... I think Mute City's our new number 29. I guess it's 11. With all these courses so high and so close in quality, I mean, if it's a little bit worse than, like... Okay, hold on. I need to actually do this first. Mute City, our new number 29. Man, that is such an upset for me personally. But I think I'm okay with it now. I was heartbroken the first time. I think I've reached acceptance that Mute City just doesn't have it. So, I was going to say, we've reached a point where, like, really, like, everything here, well, let's get Rainbow Road out of that equation. Everything here is so good in quality that if it's just a little bit below these, you're going to have a course fall. That's 7 slots right there I mean, there's 6 there, but it's going to fall from above them to below them, so it's going to fall 7 slots. And then right here, the exact same thing. It felt a little bit worse than DK Summit, which is these are all just a little bit worse than each other, and so it's going to plummet. It's funny because the more I thought about this, I was like, they aren't going to fall far, but now that I'm thinking about it, they're so close in quality that if something isn't hanging, it's going to fall far. And Butte City just did not hang there. I'm going to make sure that I didn't blow out the mic with my awful Captain Falcon impression. And then we will continue on to whatever the fuck the next course is. Yoshi's Island. Okay, it sounded terrible, but it did not blow out the mic. Actually, the mic kind of tried to prevent it from blowing out the mic, so we're pretty good. We're going to go ahead and continue. It also didn't sound as bad as I thought it would. It was not a good impression, but it wasn't a bad impression. If I do say so myself. The time has come for Yoshi's Island. Can Yoshi's Island hang? Let's see. It's going to get off to a good start with the boom, 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 boom. So it does have that to it. Yeah. My gut reaction during that lap was that it was worse than Bone Dry Dunes, but then I hit that shortcut. A little bit of something started fighting back here. Boy, again, I tell you, every time I think I'm considering where I'm going to put this, I hit that shortcut. It feels good. I tell you, even when you don't hit that shortcut and then you hear it, even though I knew I had won that race, there was some sense of dread that filled me, and that is powerful. I think that course is going to drop. I don't think it's going to drop far. It just doesn't quite have the kick-ass pace that a couple of the courses below it do. Hyrule Circuit is definitely going to defeat it. I'm undecided on Bone Dry Dunes. It definitely is better than Wild Woods. I don't think I can confidently say Bone Dry Dunes defeated it. If that shortcut at the end in the cloud mechanic were not there, it would definitely fall a lot further, because I think the rest of the layout is not bad. It's just a little plain. It just doesn't have quite the pace of Hyrule Circuit. It's just, I really like that cloud bridge mechanic at the very end of that course. Although, I'm going to go back on my word. I'm actually going to put Bone Dry Dunes above it. The more I think about it, the more I'm not sure that made up for the rest of the layout quite as much as I thought it did. It's definitely better than Wild Woods, though. So it is our new number 19, Yoshi's Island. So a little bit of fall, but I thought that sounds pretty fair to me, I think. I need to copy, because I decided to give this the hardest name in the world to keep copying. Okay. Part of me keeps wanting to stop, because I've been going for a while. Part of me is realizing that these courses are all so close in quality that I'm probably going to have to play like 20 courses again if I stop. So I shall keep going. Into Captain Falcon's Revenge Lap. Filing a protest with what has happened to Mute City, but maybe his chances in Big Blue are a little bit better. Let's see what we got. Big Blue currently sitting 16 in the board. We are approaching the final 4 cups-ish. We're approaching the final 4 cups? Jesus. There are no blue shells or lightning to fuck up the pace this time. This being the only course that got 2 shakes in the first run. Folks, I know I didn't really say anything throughout, so I probably am just going to make a couple of quick cuts there. That may have been the single weirdest lap I've ever had on Big Blue. Because during the first section, my gut was, I think I had more fun on Hyrule Circuit. The longer that course went on, the more I'm like, I think Big Blue's a better track. Because I enjoyed the third section. I don't know what the fuck is happening to me. It just didn't feel as slow as it normally does. I am not convinced that I need to lower Big Blue. I think Big Blue is going to remain at number 16. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised about that. It's just the reasoning for it, I guess, is what I'm surprised with. Yeah, that was odd. Very odd. Strange, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to say about that course now in my final assessment at the end of this, because I had written part of the script in my head, and that race reversed the script. Maybe it's just an expectations game. I don't know. It's probably what it is. But speaking of expectations game, I expect something out of Dragon Driftway here. We will have to test it. Big Blue remaining number 16. So I suppose if you were to create a set of 4 cups for this game, of the best cups in the game, Big Blue is our first course to confirm its entry into that set of 16 cups, of 16 tracks. Can Dragon Driftway punch its ticket? I think you can notice, well, maybe you won't notice. I feel like I'm noticing the quieter I am, the better I'm doing on these courses. The better I'm doing on these courses, the more I'm enjoying them. Which means I'm going to have to redo every single track in the game without talking. I'm not going to do that. I don't think any of the courses that were below any of these are really going to have a shot. Alright, we are at the end of Dragon Driftway. My gut reaction is that that is better than Hyrule Circuit, but that is not better than Big Blue. Big Blue simply has the variety, and now a surprisingly decent third section. I don't know. I felt more playing Big Blue than I just felt playing Dragon Driftway. So Dragon Driftway will fall a single position to number 16. Congratulations. Dragon Driftway still punching its ticket, though, into the top 16 of this game. Just not quite in the position that it had before. But there's still a chance for moving upward here, because we have, I don't know why I keep making this stupid ass joke, Coconut Mall to discuss. Coconut Mall makes a lot of people angry with how ugly it is. Fair. I still think it's got it where it counts, which is the gameplay. And the music. Not that the music's my favorite, it just works for this track. I gotta say, further I'm getting into this, I'll tell you right now, I think this wins. I think it is going to hang right where it is. And the further I get into this, the more I really am appreciating the music of Coconut Mall. Not that I've ever disliked the music of Coconut Mall. I think it's perfectly fine. It's just, it's not something that I really like listening to on its own, but I think it might be a perfect accompanying track. Because it just has... See, I started talking, now I'm doing shit. It almost is like the perfect pace for this course. Perfect tempo and bounciness. And it, like, enhances it so much, in my opinion. This is definitely our new number... Well, not our new number 14. That was awesome. That car almost hit me from behind. It did not. And what was not also hit from behind is Wii Coconut Mall, which will continue to lead the rankings over Big Blue. Wii Coconut Mall remains number 14. It might go higher. that lap felt real good. All right, next up, here to challenge the temporary crown of Wii Coconut Mall. I thought I just saw a spider on the ceiling. Nope, we're good. Here to challenge the crown of Wii Coconut Mall is Piranha Plant Slide. This course, really love the beginning of it. I don't know if I'm going to feel quite as bad about the anti-gravity portion as I felt before. I think definitely being quiet is helping me absorb these a little more, so I apologize. The ending of this series is going to be just a lot of footage of the game and not much talking, but it's that close between a lot of these, and it's kind of me just absorbing just how good a lot of these fucking tracks are. All right, folks. I was real lost in thought in that one. We're going to take a look at the board here, because I think it is definitely better than Big Blue. Piranha Plant Slide will not slide any further than 14th place. I'm very torn on Coconut Mall, because everything about Piranha Plant Slide is better, and then you hit that bottom turn and the life just feels sucked out of it a little bit. But everything else is paced even better than Coconut Mall. Then I'm going to give it to Piranha Plant Slide. It's too close. Part of me is thinking that I may have had slightly more fun on Coconut Mall. Part of me is a little upset because I feel like there were a few spots where it was a little wonky because as a result of the scaling of the tour model. Not upset. There's just a couple of trick spots there where it just feels meh. It's particularly the escalator going up into the hairpin turn. You just have to kind of know not to trick there. Well, you can trick there. It's tough. That spot's tough. Yeah, I got some weird error on one of my laps at that spot and like ended up crashing into a wall. I didn't entirely feel like it was my fault when it happened. So I think Coconut Mall gave it a hell of a run, but I think I'm gonna have to still give it to Piranha Plant Slide, in spite of that turn at the bottom. Part of me actually, the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm confident I am in giving it to Piranha Plant Slide. I'm realizing that the reason the only reason I think that bottom turn feels bad is because the rest of the course is paced so aggressively because of the rushing water and everything that it feels like it ramps down a little bit. But in reality, you've just returned to the normal speed of every other course in the game. Man, that course. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just live with it. I don't think I'm happy with either one of those moving in any position. Part of me does want to move it Coconut Mall above it. The other part of me loves that fucking beginning where you slide back and forth between in the water and pretty much everything up until that one turn. I don't think it's going to have much upward momentum because of that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave Piranha Plant Slide where it is. I think that's a coin flip. And Piranha Plant Slide has the advantage, so Piranha Plant Slide has confirmed 13th place. It is currently in the lead. I got to do the thing. I'm picturing the two. No, if I'm picturing the two, then it's too close. I'm not going to go back on my word. Wii Rainbow Road. This is one that I've been super eager to get back to. That is the wrong Rainbow Road I'm going to. Wii Rainbow Road. I think this might have some legs, but we shall see. And also, I think our next couple of courses might have some unlegs. But also, I'm partly wondering if just maybe 3DS DK Jungle benefited from being at the very beginning of the process. But enough about that. It is time for Wii Rainbow Road. Two laps in. I'm not sure. Here's the thing. I think this course is going to win. I don't think... realizing that I'm having some sort of weird reaction from this. I'm not sure I'm having as much... Like, this course is awesome. But also part of me is, like, hoping that I get a definitive answer out of these courses because they're so close. And so every time I race them, I'm like, I want that feeling where I just say, yeah, this is better. And I'm just not getting it. And so I'm starting to, like, feel empty inside, but also I think this is better than... I think it is better than Piranha Plant Slide. I think it's going to stay right where it is. It's honestly pretty fucking awesome. Maybe I do need to start talking more, because the more I'm talking it through, the more I think I don't know, this is tough. This is real tough at this point. Wii Rainbow Road does win. I don't think... Nothing about that run made me go... Maybe question it against Piranha Plant Slide enough to overturn those results. It wasn't the home run that I think I thought it might be, but also I'm not quite sure why not. I think maybe the middle section of that course could use... I think the ending is absolutely fucking awesome. I think it begins maybe a little slow. I'm not sure I'm crazy about the split circle section. It is good, though. When I say I'm not crazy about it, I'm just not talking... I'm not sure this is going to go to the moon like I thought it might. I just think it's going to stay number 12 for now. But the time has come. Is DK Jungle for real? Or did I severely overestimate it? I have a feeling I severely overestimated it. But we shall see. The dream of DK is alive. But is it going to be alive much longer than the next 2.5 minutes? One lap in, and I have a smile on my face because I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to hang on. Why have I not seen this course for how good it is? It's really good. It's varied. The only down part, I think, is kind of just a little bit right here. No, not really, because you land and then you're just right into the drift. Okay. I just said that I wasn't getting any definitive conclusions, but I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think I am out of this one. I thought Rainbow Road on a replay was going to smash this course. I don't think it's given me enough reason to undo it. The upset of the century, folks. Man, I don't know. If you had asked me to name the top 20 courses in this game before it started, I'm not sure I would have listed DK Jungle. But it has everything I like in a course. It's just really well paced. You get some good turns. The fucking glider into this feels really good. The pacing doesn't quite collapse like Piranha Plant Slide. It's not as ugly as Coconut Mall, which Coconut Mall also has a little bit of pacing issue at the end. I didn't really mention that. DK Jungle is 11. It went. It was for real the whole time. I started that race. I know I've said it a lot in this. I started that race convinced that thing was gonna fall. And just during the first lap, I was like looking for reasons to bring it down. Like, is this like, what's happening here? It gave me no reasons to bring it down. Let's see if it can actually come up into the top 10 because we have Bowser's Castle back. I was gonna stop, but honestly, I'm so close to the end now, and these are all so close in quality that I just don't want to. And also, I'm having an amazing time playing these courses all back to back. the crescendo of quality here has resulted in some of these courses not feeling as fun as they should, but that's only because I'm so torn on what to do with them. I'm 2 laps in, and I don't think this is going to move. Part of me is wondering if I was thinking too hard during the Rainbow Road, and because it has all of the pieces of something that should be better than this, less flawed. But I think just that middle section. No, I'm not going to replay it. I think just that middle section in Rainbow Road just isn't as engaging, because even though it doesn't quite have as big of a flaw as like this here. First of all, honestly, I think a big reason why this is hanging on right where it is the Bowser's Castle theme here is incredible. I think the opening section where you fly, the anti-gravity section, the start of the anti-gravity section is one of the best sections of this game. Really, the first third of this course is like, you can't ask for much more out of a Bowser's Castle, especially one with anti-gravity, because like you're going straight up and just fucking Wario starts going up and just fire bars and flying things and then the airships and turning around. Holy shit. The pacing doesn't drop quite as bad, I feel like. I don't know if it's just because I know that I'm going to get a trick or a boost here. It doesn't feel as bad as Piranha Plant Slide when you reach the bottom of that, and I think it's just, maybe it's music. I don't know. I've seen no reason to overturn DK Jungle versus Bowser Castle. I thought that one might go. I thought Bowser's Castle and DK Jungle were going to be a 1-2 that fell down the list. I think they're staying right where they are. So I'm not even going to say anything about Super Bell Subway's chances, because who the fuck knows at this point. Okay. I thought I got some of these wrong, but I'm getting less of them wrong the more I play them. The only one that can maybe get, I still don't know about Coconut Mall versus 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. I still just don't have enough confidence, though, to overturn that. That, I think, is a fucking tie. Again, truthfully, I thought I may have overrated this course, but one lap in, I've gotten not enough convincing evidence to overturn anything. It's repetitive, but oh my god, I did it again. What in the fuck is wrong with me? Oh! Jesus Christ! Okay, so what was I saying? It's repetitive because it's just hairpin turns, but the hairpin turns, first of all, are a little bit varied. Second of all, you have trains that you may be around each one. And I think I might know why also Rainbow Road isn't moving, because my gut when I reached the end of the first lap was, like, that was a little long, which I've never really felt before about that course. But the moment this thing said lap 2, like, I felt perfect. It felt like I'm like, yeah, lap 2. Let's keep going. I'm almost just in awe. I think if anything, maybe it's I've been on steroids, technically, since before the start of this process, for medical reasons. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder by any stretch of the imagination, and I know that kind of enhances emotions, but I'm like flabbergasted, because I keep thinking that, like, there's going to be a man behind the curtain on one of these courses, and it's going to make me go, nah, it's not that good. And every single one is that good. Really, Coconut Mall was the start of it. Big Blue, there was a little bit of iffy. Dragon Driftway, too repetitive. Hyrule Circuit was good, but a little bit simple. Bone Dry Dunes, there's just a little bit of scenery issues there. Once you hit Wii Coconut Mall up, it's like, they're all so good, I can't overturn anything that I have on the list. Piranha Plant Slide is the only one with a major issue, but it also has a major benefit. So I think that's the most flawed one out of any of these. I guess also Wii Rainbow Road in the middle of it. But I don't think either of those flaws... And Coconut Mall, I guess, because the scaling is a little weird. Coconut Mall, I could still move that one up. I still could. I think I hate to do this, because we've had such upward momentum. I might have to have Wii Coconut Mall versus Piranha Plant Slide again. Because my gut actually thinks that I like Wii Coconut Mall more. I'm gonna give him one lap in time trials. And it's weird because it's like, it's conflicting. And I said if it was conflicting, I didn't want to overturn it. But I think there's enough in my gut there that that's the first time I've said that and not been happy enough to continue. I think I need just a little bit. I'm gonna try and just solo time trial this fucker, and I'm gonna record it. Usually I don't. I know usually items here, but I think I just don't want to do the entire races again. Because I really don't know how I feel. I know I'm breaking my own rules, but it's also my list, damn it, and I need to know this will eat at my soul for the rest of time if I get this wrong. I'm overblowing. It's just more morbid curiosity at this point. I'm far enough in the process that I will lose them. Man, that's a drag. That is a real drag at that spot. It's not enough of a drag to bring it below or Big Blue. That's all I needed for that one. We need to go back to Wii Coconut Mall. I don't think either of them are going to overturn Wii Rainbow Road. I think genuinely, the feelings I was getting for Wii Rainbow Road was more like, I really thought this was going to be better than this right now, but also I don't think it's any worse than I rated it. So there was like a little bit of trepidation, but I also think it was still really good. Or am I going to have to do a lap on Wii Rainbow Road? Fuck me! Okay, let's just see what we do. How I feel about Coconut Mall here. If Coconut Mall doesn't defeat Piranha Plant Slide, then Piranha Plant Slide sure as fuck isn't defeating Rainbow Road. Right up until that spot, I was going to say it was enough to overturn it. It kinda does the same thing. I'm still going back and forth, and I shouldn't, because they're close enough. You know what? Fuck it. Piranha Plant Slide is the same. Coconut Mall is the same. I'm not retesting Rainbow Road. We return to the list and actually continue the game as planned. Alright. Sorry I had to do that. I know maybe that was cheating a little bit. But I feel like when I was down... I know I was given the whole, like, any given Sunday rule earlier, but I think we are officially high enough in the list where a single position matters, and I think that's why it was bothering me. So, anyways, Super Bell Subway remains number 9. Can it take on Sunshine Airport? Battle of the Transport Hubs. I'm not going to make a judgment call either way. I know what my gut is saying. But my gut has been wrong repeatedly during this process. Folks, I'm 2 laps in here. I think this is going to need to come down. I think this is our first that's going to come down quite a bit from the top ratings. This is definitely one that is, well, I was going to say it's benefited. I suppose my feelings on it have benefited. my confirmation on my feelings have benefited from replaying it. It has not benefited Sunshine Airport. Don't have any fucking clue where I'm gonna place it though. That's a problem. But my gut is that I had a better time playing Piranha Plant Slide just now than I did on this course. Which I just realized means DK Jungle's in the top 10. Fuck yeah, DK! You go! He's not the hero we need, he's the one we deserve. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at the rankings. I don't know. I definitely enjoyed Piranha Plant Slide more than what I just played. And I think I enjoyed Coconut Mall. But I think that is as far as I'm willing to push it. Again, this is, I think, is a victim of just how close these tracks are, that Sunshine Airport is going to drop a bit. This is actually about where I thought I was originally going to rank it. So I'm once again, very glad that I'm doing this process in this order, because now that it is shown next to its peers, I just fucked up where it is. When it is played next to its peers on the list, the crescendo of quality was a decrescendo. God, I hope you know what that means. Sunshine Airport is our number 14, but that is the start, I feel like. Really kind of Dragon, well, not as much Dragon Driftway, but Big Blue. I feel like this is the start of a real good tier. Actually, Sunshine Airport's a little in the middle. This is where things get real good. I actually felt, when I was initially doing that, it's weird, because I tested Sunshine Airport and Piranha Plant Slide in the same episode. All four of these in the same episode. And my initial feeling on Sunshine Airport was that turn was not as bad as Piranha Plant Slide. Today, it kind of went the opposite. I felt like that turn, the anti-gravity turn on Sunshine Airport, felt like it lowered the pace even more than the turn on Piranha Plant Slide, which I guess makes sense because it's a longer turn. And also just landing from the glider ramp. We're at a point where a lot of these are breakneck pace, which is what I love, and Sunshine Airport's breakneck pace isn't quite as breakneck as everything above it. Okay. We have to go to the bathroom, but not literally, figuratively. We're going to Squeaky Clean Sprint. This course inspired some warm and fuzzy feelings. Truthfully, I think the music may have caused this course to be elevated as high as it is. I'm not saying that it's underrated, or I'm not saying it's overrated. I think I have a feeling it is not going to move. Truthfully, if I feel just as well as I did last time. Okay. My gut is that needs to move down. I have no fucking clue where. My gut is that I enjoyed DK Jungle more, and Bowser's Castle and Super L Subway. Not sure I think I enjoyed Wii Rainbow Road more. That felt very Sunshine Airport-ish to me, where when played back to back with everything else, just something about the pace wasn't quite there this time for me. I think I really felt the gap in the straight in the bathtub not paced quite as well. I said it was how you designed a straightaway. I think it needs to be a little bit shorter before you reach the drain in the bathtub to really have perfect pacing there. Even the pipes didn't feel quite as good. I think I'm going to go ahead and place this just above Sunshine Airport, both very similar in quality. Funny, because they were next to each other. So I guess that part was right. So I think Squeaky Clean Sprint, again, this is another one where it's kind of just like, when you really play them back to back, it really sticks out when it's not quite as fun. Squeaky Clean Sprint, I'm going to go ahead and give it the tiebreaker on Sunshine Airport. It is our number 13. Falling out of the top 10. DK Jungle number 9, baby. Motherfucker. It's the hero I never saw. We gotta go to Neo Bowser. We gotta go to Neo Bowser City. We gotta go right now. Fuck me! Oh, Jesus. I realize I never take that route, and I really wanted to take it. I will tell you right now, I'm in the 3rd lap. This thing ain't moving, folks. First lap, I thought maybe it might, against Super Bell Subway. I think this is the only part in the entire game where there's a straightaway right here, and I'm so grateful to see it. Because the turn before it is so brutal, you need a breather after it. Neo Bowser City remains in the top 6. There's not much more I can add to that course. It's fucking diabolical. I'm probably going to leave in my first lap attempt on that turn, because it was bad, but it was bad in the way that Neo Bowser City... I love how bad that turn is. I love... Okay, so here's the thing. I briefly thought about doing a 200cc ranking. Maybe I will at some point. I don't fucking know. If I do it, it's going to start with this list, and I'm just going to do basically what I'm doing for this final episode, so it'll be one thing. But then I realized I'm pretty sure I would put Neo Bowser City first, because it's fucking hilarious in 200cc how hard that course is on an inside drift bike. Keep in mind, I use an inside drift bike in 200cc too. Not recommended. It's the fucking hardest thing in any Mario Kart game by a factor of 20. And I am genuinely disappointed if I play 200cc and Neo Bowser does not get picked in that session. That course is great. And that course is still our number 6. We have our final Rainbow Road. We will definitively answer which is the best Rainbow Road in this game. Based on my feelings on Wii Rainbow Road, maybe not panning out as much as I thought they might. I think this has got a pretty good shot of hanging on to its best Rainbow Road title, but let's see if it hangs on to its best top 5 title. That may have been the single worst attempt at that section I think I've ever seen in my life. I gotta be perfectly honest, I think I'm liking this even more this time than last time. It's... On paper, there are elements of this layout that aren't great. I have to hear the music, I'm sorry. For the first time in this ranking, as much as I loved playing the previous courses, I got goosebumps at the end of that race, people. That is your fucking number 5. That ain't moving. That is the best Rainbow Road of all time. I think I have gotten I've gotten rid of my early trepidations with this port of it. There are elements of that course where the pacing could be a little bit tighter. But it's fucking Rainbow Road, and it is a 3-section Rainbow Road. You can't ask for much more out of Rainbow Road than that. 3DS Rainbow Road defeats Neo Bowser City. 3DS Rainbow Road is our leader. I meant to quit and start an actual cup here because we are down to the final 4. My gut says there might be a little bit of shakeup here because that was a real good fucking race on 3DS Rainbow Road. Genuinely, that felt like a tier even above Neo Bowser City, to the degree that how much I fucking loved that race just now. I think you maybe hear it in my voice. Maybe it's because I'm reaching the end of this process, and a Rainbow Road near the end of the process just made me so happy, but I thought there was a chance Wii Rainbow Road may climb and overtake it. No chance in hell. We begin the Final Four with Koopa Cape. Not people's favorite version of Koopa Cape, but it's my favorite. I have no idea, folks. It's better than Neo Bowser City. It is. I don't know about Rainbow Road. I feel like on average I have had better races on Koopa Cape than I have had on Rainbow Road. That lap on Rainbow Road was like as good as a lap on Rainbow Road as I think I could possibly have. Versus a pretty good Koopa Cape race. Which is to say, any Koopa Cape race is really good. I'm kind of having that Wii Rainbow Road feeling where I really thought that that was going to make a definitive statement in a way that it didn't. And I'm not sure if that's like affected my feeling because it is super good. That Rainbow Road run was too fucking good. That Rainbow Road has to move up. I'm calling it right now. Rainbow Road is moving up. Rainbow Road has moved into the top 4. I can't deny the power of just a Rainbow Road that is that good. Koopa Cape starts off slightly weak. I do think maybe that turn at the top of the water section is scaled a little too small. The rest of the course I think is scaled just fine. I think the complaints are overblown. Everything else about that course is phenomenal. It's not a 3, it's up against a 3-section Rainbow Road, people. You can't fucking ask for anything more. There's a good chance that I think Rainbow Road enters the top 3 based on that rates that I had. I've got that was really good. Okay, we continue. DS Wario Stadium. I previously called this when I ranked it originally the best 3-lap course in this game, and I'm not kidding. Then GCN Yoshi Circuit kind of shook stuff up, but I think as this process is proven, sometimes the gap in time makes fools of us all. I did not flip over. Holy shit, it's the first time I've done it the whole race. Thank God I looked down. I mean, the science will need to be done as far as our next course. Even in spite of Rainbow Road's best efforts, my gut reaction after that lap was this is perfect. I know I had a complaint maybe about it not having like a good spot for like a big mini turbo, but you do something on every single moment of this course. And I thought maybe Koopa Cape had spectacle, that it might do something against this on a replay. But, like, it's not inspiring the goosebumps that Rainbow Road did, because Rainbow Road is Rainbow Road. But it's just like, I have no notes for this course, beyond maybe get a better theme? It's, oh man. Obviously, everyone's opinions vary. I could see somebody just really not liking a dirt bike theme for a course. I think I love, in my head, like, this was the original DS Wario Stadium, and then they brought in a big digger to put in the giant anti-grav section, which I think it just, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I think that's really awesome, and I think this course is really awesome, and I think this course just defeated Rainbow Road. Still, our new number 3, or our current number 3. But we're approaching the showdown. GCN Yoshi Circuit inspired some feelings last time. Really, I feel like GCN Yoshi Circuit is the villain here, because I really don't want it to win. And I think maybe because of that, it's just not going to, because I don't want to say how good it is. Like, it's a fucking... I feel like this is like the meme of, like, you can't just draw an outline of a dinosaur and call it a top course of all time, and then somebody's like, yee, Yoshi, fun! And somehow they made the greatest circuit course of all time. Well, we'll actually test that right now. Is Yoshi Circuit for real? I could say after one lap, Yoshi Circuit. It's still for real. But I definitely feel like my extreme elation for it was maybe because I hadn't played a course this good in the entire process. DS Wario Stadium wins over this. And I think this time, I was so focused, like, don't get me wrong, this course is fucking awesome. It's definitely better than Neo Bowser City. I think I like it more than Koopa Cape. Not sure about Rainbow Road right yet. Yeah, I like Rainbow Road. These turns are pretty fun, but I think ultimately the thing that is going to doom Yoshi Circuit's shot at a dream here is the backstretch here. Everything up to this point is some of the greatest Mario Kart you can ever have, and I think it shows the strength of the driving model of Mario Kart. It's just right here. This is it. That turn, and you're kind of just... eh. It's like the course almost needs a straight section. Like, that straight section feels fine because you have the mini turbo coming out of it. It's just you don't... I mean, I guess I could stretch the mini turbo out. I think I was doing that my first time around on that course. I don't think it would have made a major difference to my feelings. Wario Stadium is the best 3-lap course in this game. My original feelings were correct. I don't know. Yeah, I said better than Rainbow Road. I'm starting to think that. It is better than Koopa Cape. It is definitely better than Koopa Cape. It is definitely better than Neo Bowser City. It is definitely in the absolute stratosphere tier of this game, I think. I think it is the last entry in that tier. Whoops. We're going to go to the rankings. I'm staring at it, and the more I'm digesting what just happened there, the more I think Yoshi Circuit is... drumroll please. Executing this. Our new number 4, 3DS Rainbow Road, has defeated 2 challengers and is now in the top 3. Truthfully, I kind of feel good about that because I love that course, and something was missing this whole time about that course, and something about this process brought that back to me, and that feels good. But I think we need to answer the question. I have a feeling now that Yoshi Circuit has been proven not for real. I know what the answer is. But we are at the end of the process, and there is exactly one course left. Mount fucking Wario. Okay, we begin our final descent down Mount Wario. Will Mount Wario come out on top over DS Wario Stadium? Probably. I'm pretty confident in the chances now. Final race written on the screen. For the second time, I have gotten goosebumps. I'm honestly not even sure I need to race the rest of the race. Because I kind of forgot that's how the fucking course started. Well, actually, I'm starting to... Pacing is getting a little worse. Although that is always my least favorite section of this course. Okay. We have reached the bottom of Mount Wario. I think we need to adjust the elephant in the room. That bonk on the tree. Which does indicate that this course has a flaw to me. Because I don't feel like I did anything wrong there. And I did call that out in my first lap down the course. Mount Wario is still the best course in this game, though. So here's why. We need to talk. I'm not quite as over the moon as the first time I called this. I think it has come down a little bit. I originally called it by far. I'm not sure I would say by far. Because the pacing isn't... DS Wario Stadium is a near-perfect course. A near-perfect 3-lap course. Mount Wario does everything in the game that every other course in the entire game does. And it does it while flying down a mountain. The more I'm talking about it, the more fucking Mount Wario is the best course in this game. I mean, really, there's a little bit more trepidation in my voice. Because I didn't, DS Wario Stadium, yeah! Mount Wario, I'm just like, there's some flaws, but I also thought that thing was, on the fucking moon before, and maybe it's somewhere between the moon and Earth. DS Wario Stadium, I think, and 3DS Rainbow Road are a lot closer to it than I thought they were at the beginning of this process. I might as well go to the rankings here. You jump out the back of a fucking aircraft. At the beginning of that stage, it does everything. There's everything. When I was going down that boost path, I'm trying to think of something that Mount Wario doesn't do, and it does everything. The only problem is it is not perfectly paced. It is not perfect. DS Wario Stadium is basically a perfect 3-lap course, but it is a 3-lap course. A 3-section course is going to win if it is done exceedingly well, and that is what Mount Wario has done. I'm talking this through, and part of me is not sure, people. Uh-oh. I think I need a rematch. Fuck me. That bonk on the tree. I think I'm trying to convince myself. I don't know. Fuck. I was really hoping it was gonna make it definitive. We gotta go back to Wario Stadium. I'm not doing this for dramatic effect. I have to know. Part of me felt a little bit of something when I entered that cave section. Okay. I'll spare you the secondhand embarrassment of watching what happened next in real time. I did yet another race on DS Wario Stadium and then Mount Wario, hoping that one of them would make a definitive statement as to which was the better course. They did not. Still feeling unsure that Mount Wario had truly won, yet left with no other ideas, I declared Mount Wario the winner via the Any Given Sunday rule, and then proceeded to apologize for 5 minutes straight for the horribly unsatisfying nature of the ending. I read the entire list of courses, starting from the bottom, hoping that by the time I reached the top, I would feel better about it. I did not. So, in one last desperate move to try to feel better about the whole situation, I decided to take one last run down Mount Wario in time trials, hoping that with the time it had taken to read the list,
I would feel better about doing one last run on the winner. I felt worse. So much worse, in fact, that I began to question even harder whether Mount Wario had deserved its victory. With no solution in sight, I decided to quit recording for the night. It was only then that I realized I had rated 40 courses in a row in a single sitting, which probably didn't help matters. As I laid in bed that night, I was thinking of how to resolve the situation. Mount Wario wasn't giving me the same elation it had earlier in the process, yet it was still Mount Wario, an epic race down a mountainside. DS Wario Stadium was a near-perfect 3-lap course, yet there was something holding me back from wanting to declare it the winner. And part of me was wondering that since 3DS Rainbow Road had continued getting better with each run, if it was one run away from playing spoiler and deserving the win. So, just before I went to sleep, I devised a rather unorthodox plan, which I hoped would confirm my feelings and produce a true winner once and for all.
Alright, folks. It's the next day after the incident. So I went to bed, and I was trying to think about how the fuck do I resolve this series? Because I was thinking I'm still not sure what the winner is. And I feel like I have to try and declare a winner outright. And so I came up with a plan. You know how I kept talking about that whole, like, the building of quality over these tracks? I really feel it. I really feel it. I wonder if my hesitation in declaring Mount Wario the winner is I didn't really feel that over Wario Stadium. So, hear me out. What if, for right now, we move DS Wario Stadium to the top? And I will replay the top 5. Because honestly, also looking at this list, I wasn't really sure Koopa Cape beat Yoshi Circuit, so I kind of want to retest that anyway. So it'll be the top 5. I think Neo Bowser City and everything below it is solid. DS Wario Stadium will temporarily be our new number 1. I'm going to see if maybe playing Mount Wario first before Wario Stadium will make me feel any better about the results. If it doesn't, then I might reverse them and try again. And if I still don't know, then I give up and Mount Wario wins because it was advantaged going into this round. This may sound like the single stupidest way to resolve this, but truthfully, I've got nothing else. I've got nothing better. I just want to have, I want to feel better. I don't feel good about the ending of this in a way that I feel like I have gotten it right. And maybe I never will. Maybe this really was a mental breakdown of a 32-year-old man over the course of 7 episodes. Now, the rules for our final 5 showdown here, which truthfully I don't think 4 or 5 are going to beat Rainbow Road, but hey, who the hell knows? I'm going into versus just because I don't know, I kind of want computers for some reason. I'm turning off items. I think these courses do not benefit from items in the way some of the previous courses do. And I feel like getting hit by a red shell is only going to fuck things up. So we will move this up. We will say 6 races. I'm not going to do Neo Bowser City. We will begin with Koopa Cape. If I can remember where Koopa Cape is. Probably not going to say a lot during this again, just because I kind of want to get the feeling of what's going on. We'll see what happens. Man. Playing this right now, I literally saw somebody yesterday say Wave 5 was the worstest DLC because they fucked up Koopa Cape so much. I think you all are on drugs. This course is fucking great. Then again, I guess I'm literally on drugs, so who the fuck knows? Legal drugs. Not. I probably shouldn't have said that, way I said it. I think turning off items was the correct option for these few courses here. Because I think I got hit by a few unfortunate red shells during my testing yesterday, because I felt better about that today. I know there was one red shell in the second run through that hit just as I was exiting that pipe, which really sucked. But yeah, no, that was good. So did we move on to Yoshi Circuit? Can Koopa Cape take out Yoshi Circuit? Yoshi Circuit, I would say, is definitely better than Neo Bowser City, so definitely not going to be moving it any lower than that. This is purely a battle amongst the top 5 for the championship. I'm 2 laps in, and so far, I don't think I can overturn this. I think GCN Yoshi Circuit is better. It's just a little less, I don't know, like, jank, I guess. It's got absolute... There's just no set of turns in this game that are quite as good as the set of turns that are in this course. Because it's like a bunch of back and forth, but the radii and the turns keeps increasing and decreasing in a way that makes the whole race engaging. Clear evidence that once I start talking, I start doing worse at playing the game. It's still great. Yoshi Circuit's still great. Still our number 4. For now. Can it move up against 3DS Rainbow Road in this, our climactic final showdown? I feel bad because I don't have quite as much energy as last night. I think I'm kind of just defeated from this process at this point and ready for it to be done. But really didn't realize that I'd played 40 tracks in a row last night. Technically more races than that, but yeah. So, 3DS Rainbow Road. This one definitely felt insanely good last night. Maybe potential to move up. I wouldn't be opposed to this winning. I'd be opposed to me shitting the bed there, though. We are approaching the end of 3DS Rainbow Road. 3DS Rainbow Road has solidified its 3rd position. I'm getting the feeling it might beat Mount Wario now. I didn't feel quite as good as last night's run, but I feel like I have definitely completely... Any issues that I thought I may have had with that version of that course, I think have evaporated over the course of this process. I mean, I liked it before that, but fuck, man, that is a really good track. What else is a really good track? Mount Wario, the previous number 1. Let's see if I really... Let's see how I feel. Now I know that just happened there. Unlike last night's, where I don't feel like I really did anything wrong when I hit the trees, I definitely feel like I fucked up there. I gotta say, we are approaching the end of Mount Wario. Part of me thought 3DS Rainbow Road had a chance against this. This still wins. It's really fucking good, guys. This course is pretty goddamn good. I feel better about, despite me fucking up there, I feel better about this run than I did last night. Perhaps it's because it doesn't have the burden of having to finish the list, though. So, we arrive at Jesus Christ, what I hope is the final race of this. Wario Stadium, Battle of the Warios. Let's begin. Let's begin. I don't really have anything else to add. We'll see what happens. All right, folks. I can tell you right now, that was indeed the final race. I have come to a definitive conclusion, perhaps a controversial decision here. I am ready to reveal the final list, I think, because we have to make one last choice. I guess I'm just going to hit quit. I need to put on some music here when I, flip over to the rankings. And we'll do Mario Kart Stadium. Folks, here is the final list. This is where things are going to get maybe a little controversial, but I think playing those courses again in that order made my feelings clear. That you simply can't beat a very, very good 3-section course, even if you are perfect as a 3-lap course. 3DS Rainbow Road moves above TS Wario Stadium, which falls to 3rd. Mount Wario is the winner! And I actually feel good about saying that right now. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem. I think if you make a really, really good 3-section track, it has power that a 3-lap track simply does not, because you can get away with things like having just a straight line with a bunch of boosters, and it doesn't get old because it feels like the climax to a course. Unlike, say, like Mute City, where you do it like 3 times, and like, who cares? I definitely felt much better about Mount Wario. Rainbow Road, honestly, pretty good compared to Mount Wario, but it's still Mount Wario. Mount Wario has much more visual variety. I think it still has better pacing. Like, the ending of Mount Wario, I feel like, is better than, like, the ending of Rainbow Road, even though it is a Rainbow Road. Beginning of Mount Wario is better than Rainbow Road. It's... middle of Mount Wario is better than... Actually, really, the middle, I think, is where things are the biggest difference, because kind of the middle of 3DS Rainbow Road is like, yeah, when you go... going around that planet is cool, but it isn't the most engaging thing in the world, whereas Mount Wario is consistently engaging the entire way down the mountain. It was a ride, folks, but that feels much more like the conclusion that I was hoping this would have. I feel so much better right now, holy shit. Okay, thank God. I feel a little bad now that Wario Stadium was the actual final course that we played. I'm not going to play Mount Wario again because I'm scared that I'm going to have a terrible run down it and second-guess the list yet again. So, Wario Stadium gets the unfortunate thing of being the final course played, but also the loser because of the setup of this battle. Its flaws made abundantly clear when I haven't finished just playing 40 tracks in a row and am not tired as fucking hell. So, now, finally, for the final time, we go up the list. Technically, I did this last night, and it was after I did this that I realized I felt bad. We shall say that number 96 is Excite Bike Arena. Number 95 is Sky High Sunday. I don't know why I'm stressing the T in 90 like I'm like British or something. Number 94 is GCN Baby Park. Number 93 is N64 Toad's Turnpike. Number 92 is GCN Dry Dry Desert. Number 91 is 3DS Rock Rock Mountain. Number 90 is Toad Tour. I keep wanting to say Toad London Loop. Tour London Loop. Number 89 is N64 Calamari Desert. Number 88 is 3DS Toad Circuit. Number 87 is DS Cheap Cheap Beach. Number 86 is Tour Tokyo Blur. Number 85 is GBA Sky Garden. Number 84 is SNES Rainbow Road. Number 83 is SNES Donut Plains 3. Number 82 is Tour Paris Promenade. Number 81 is SNES Mario Circuit 3. Number 80 is Wii Mushroom Gorge. Number 79 is Mario Kart Stadium. Number 78 is Wario's Gold Mine. Number 77 is N64 Rainbow Road. Number 76 is GBA Sunset Wilds. Number 75, GBA Cheese Land. Number 74 is GCN DK Mountain. Number 73, GBA Snowland. Number 72, Thwomp Ruins. Number 71, Wii DK Circuit. Number 70, Ice Ice Outpost. Number 69, GBA Mario Circuit. Number 68, Wii Moo Moo Meadows. Number 67, Mario Circuit. Number 66, GBA Riverside Park. Number 65, Water Park. Number 64, DS Peach Gardens. Number 63, Tour Vancouver Velocity. Number 62, Electrodrome. Number 61, Ninja Hideaway. Number 60, DS Tick-Tock Clock. Number 59, Merry Mountain. Number 58, Waluigi Pinball. DS Waluigi Pinball, that is. Number 57, Tour Sydney Sprint. Number 56, N64 Yoshi Valley. Number 55, N64 Choco Mountain. Number 54, GCN Daisy Cruiser. Number 53, Tour New York Minute. Number 52, Tour Bangkok Rush. Number 51, Tour Los Angeles Laps. Number 50, DS Mario Circuit. Number 49, GBA Boo Lake. Number 48, SNES Bowser Castle 3. Number 47, Animal Crossing. Number 46, Wii Grumble Volcano. Number 45, 3DS Music Park. Number 44, Twisted Mansion. Number 43, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. Number 42, Tour Singapore Speedway. Number 41, Piranha Plant Cove. Number 40, Tour Amsterdam Drift. Number 39, Cloudtop Cruise. Number 38, GBA Ribbon Road. Number 37, Dolphin Shoals. Number 36, Tour Berlin Byways. Number 35, GCN Sherbet Land. Number 34, Wii Moonview Highway. Number 33, Toad Harbor. I just had a moment of existential crisis where I realized I'm just sitting alone in a room reading a bunch of numbers and weird-ass names. Number 32, Tour Rome Avanti. Number 31, Sweet Sweet Canyon. Number 30, N64 Royal Raceway. Number 29, Mute City. Number 28, Wii DK Summit. Number 27, Wii Maple Treeway. Number 26, Tour Madrid Drive. Number 25, Tour Athens Dash. Number 24, Rainbow Road. Number 23, GCN Waluigi Stadium. Number 22, DS Shroom Ridge. Number 21, Shy Guy Falls. Number 20, Wild Woods. Number 19, Yoshi's Island. Number 18, Bone Dry Dunes. Number 17, Hyrule Circuit. Number 16, Dragon Driftway. Number 15, Big Blue. Number 14, Sunshine Airport. Number 13, Squeaky Clean Sprint. Number 12, Wii Coconut Mall. Number 11, 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. Number 10, Wii Rainbow Road. Number 9, 3DS DK Jungle. Number 8, Bowser's Castle. Number 7, Super Bell Subway. Number 6, 3DS Neo Bowser City. Number 5, Wii Koopa Cape. Number 4, GCN Yoshi Circuit. Number 3, DS Wario Stadium. Number 2, 3DS Rainbow Road. And the winner is Mount Wario. Finally, I can shout it from the mountaintops. It is the best course in this game. The science has been done. It has been double-checked. It has been triple-checked. It was quadruple-checked last night. It has been quintuple-checked today. And today, Mount Wario is the definite winner. We move over to the other settings here. Let's see how the cups shook out. Shell Cup is your worst cup here. No surprise. It's technically, it's not that bad of a cup. It's more just the Mushroom Cup level difficulty courses here. Just got a little bit better over the course of Mario Kart history, so when you bring back a bunch of those as retros, it doesn't quite add up as well. The Propeller Cup is 23rd. The Turnip Cup 22nd, the Rock Cup 21st, the Lucky Cat Cup is 20th, the Triforce Cup is 19th, the Mushroom Cup is 18th, the Golden Dash Cup actually finishing above the Mushroom Cup thanks hugely to Coconut Mall, number 17 there, and Crossing Cup is 16th, Acorn is 15th, Banana 14th, Cherry is 13th, Lightning is 12th, Boomerang is 11th, Flower is 10th. I don't know why I'm reading these in reverse that I did the other list. Moon is 9th. Fruit is 8th. Egg is 7th, Leaf is 6th, Spiny is 5th. Feather Cup is actually the best cup, according to my rankings here, of the Booster Pass. Which is weird, because looking at it, they're all very good courses, don't get me wrong. It just seems weird that it worked out that way. I guess it just also doesn't have that many weaknesses. The Star Cup, again, at the beginning of this process, I would have told you in a heartbeat that it was going to beat the Special Cup, but I honestly didn't really think that hard about that. And then I realized that I like Cloudtop Cruise a hell of a lot better than I like Electrodrome, and those are the two worst courses of their respective cups. And Special Cup also has Bone Dry Dunes, which is pretty damn good. The Bell Cup, though, the definite winner, again, I don't know why I didn't bet on that from the very beginning, because it has fucking Neo Bowser City, fucking Super Bell Subway, and Big Blue. And its worst track is GBA Ribbon Road, which is still a really good track. So, we can move on to the games. This was a little closer last night when I ran through it, but obviously the improvement of 3DS Rainbow Road as it continued to climb its way up the list on replays there caused that to win, but we'll go from the bottom. SNES, no surprise there. N64 I thought was going to beat GBA. It was very, very close there. N64 is apparently the devil several times over. But GBA was really helped, I think, a lot by Boo Lake and Ribbon Road there, where the N64 hurt a little bit by Royal Raceway coming down in the end. Certainly a good track, it's just not quite the world beater that some of the others are. I don't know what the fuck phrase world beater even means, but that's where I'm going with. And also it has Calamari Desert and some other kind of crappy tracks. Toadster Bike. GCN, just above GBA there. Tour actually defeating the GCN in this category, thanks to really a set of 3 very good city tracks, elevating that. DS falls below the BCP Tour non-city, which actually has an average ranking of smack dab in the middle, an absolute mid rating there. Kind of sad that actually most of these average below average, I guess you would say, but I guess that just speaks to the strength of the categories that are above it. The Wii is in 3rd by a good margin below it and a decent margin above it. The Wii U actually losing to the 3DS, I don't really know what that says, if anything, because the 3DS only has 2 of its bad tracks in this game, kinda. And I wouldn't even call Toad Circuit a bad track. So this category is kind of meaningless, but it's interesting nevertheless. But congratulations to the 3DS. Then again, I've always said that the 3DS had very good tracks, so who knows. The Vanilla has beaten the Booster Pass, to no one's surprise, I think. Maybe a little closer than I thought it might have been, but Booster Pass added some good tracks. I think it was certainly good enough to improve the game overall, even if there were some complaints. The worst courses by release here was the second wave of the Booster Pass, which kind of when it released is what I thought. First wave, actually a decent chunk ahead of it because the first wave had Coconut Mall. Obviously, a lot of people don't like Coconut Mall, but I do, so that really helped it. Obviously, things got a lot better for the third wave. The original Wii U release, I think these two are better to compare versus the Booster Pass because they had more tracks to deal with. Honestly, wasn't sure which way this was going to go because it felt like the Wii U DLC introduced a ton of excellent tracks, and also Baby Park and Excite Bike Arena. Cheese Land to a lesser extent is a rough one. But I think just really everything else it added was just too good to really overcome. So yeah, the Booster Pass Wave 6 is in third. That seems about right. I would have bet the fifth wave was going to beat the fourth wave. It was very close. I think Squeaky Clean Sprint kind of fallen off a little bit there at the end. Did not help things. So yeah, I guess by average rank, the fourth wave of the Booster Pass is your average set of best tracks, which is kind of weird because when I'm looking at it, none of these tracks are particularly remarkable, but I also don't dislike any of them. So that might be the single most boring possible result there. And I kind of regret just even putting this board together, this section of the board together. That will do it. There will be eventually a heavily edited list. I have actually started working on the script. I started working on it last night when I was in the pit of despair on how I was actually going to fucking end this thing. And hopefully with a satisfying conclusion. But I think now that we have done the testing, I can confidently say Mount Wario wins. That is it. If you have made it this far, if you are upset about those results, tough. They are the results. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But also, hopefully you appreciate that I kind of tried to take this seriously, and I didn't want to just leave you. Last night, the way it felt was that I had prepared a victory party for Mount Wario, and then it showed up drunk and passed out into the cake. Was about how I felt today. It wasn't the quite overwhelming punch that I would have absolutely liked, but by the time I was at the bottom of Mount Wario, I knew it had defeated Rainbow Road, and literally one lap into Wario Stadium, I knew that it was not going to defeat Mount Wario. So, that is your result. That is your series. Again, if you have watched this whole thing, thank you so very, very much for watching. If you've been commenting on the videos, thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate it. I figured this series would get like 20 views and no comments, and I would probably have just given up halfway through. So, I had a lot of fun. It turns out I really like doing this kind of thing, I think. I don't really know what else I would even bother ranking quite like this, because I think it's not really anything that's easy to compare like this. So I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything like this again. We'll see, though. There's always a chance, I guess, maybe a few years down the line, we revisit this list and see if feelings have changed if I have played these courses enough. But for now, for always, I don't know where I'm going with that. This, oh Jesus Christ, that was such a fucking stupid way I was going to end this. For now and for always, this is Squadaloo signing off. I'm gonna go collapse now. Bye. Mount Wario wins.
Except that wasn't quite the end. No, don't worry, the rankings you just saw will remain the same for now. But a few hours after wrapping up, I continued to think about it and realized part of me was still wondering if I had made the right choice. Part of me was thinking maybe 3DS Rainbow Road was actually better by virtue of being a climactic Rainbow Road stage. I ended up picking up the game again outside of recording and doing some time trials back and forth between it and Mount Wario, and while I think I still preferred Mount Wario, I couldn't put my finger on why I wasn't feeling good about it. After giving it some thought, I think the answer is this. When I started this process, I genuinely thought Mount Wario, my favorite course, was some unbeatable perfect course that every other one in the game couldn't reach. And even though it was the winner, my confidence in that had been shaken in the end. However, what I've come to realize is this wasn't because Mount Wario had suddenly gotten any worse, but rather I realized that so many other tracks in this game are so incredibly good that the answer as to which is the best no longer felt definitive. But by the nature of this being a ranking list, a winner had to be declared, so the only real solution was to declare one and stop thinking about it so hard. Now, the obvious solution all along would have been to just make a tier list instead, sure, but I don't think I would have dug nearly as deep into exactly what made each track tick if I didn't have to place a concrete ranking on them. And I think if you've watched this far, it's probably because you agree with me that that was the real point of this series all along, not the literal numbers I attached to the courses. I mean, hell, I've already played some more casual races online while editing this video, and had a better time on Mute City, DS Waluigi Pinball, and Wii Rainbow Road than I had while doing these rankings, probably because I was just able to turn my brain off and enjoy the race. That doesn't mean I don't stand by my analysis of them. It's just that I think I've said repeatedly throughout this, my opinions on exactly where everything ranks will change from day to day since no two races are the same. The reason I even decided to tackle this list anyways was in part because the game has so many great tracks that I was curious which I thought were better than others and why, and it was too difficult to just do so casually. I've always been fascinated by level design and what makes it good or bad, and this felt like a great way to basically gush about just how right Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gets it. This extends beyond the courses, of course. Driving feels fantastic, the graphics for the base game even today look great, the item balance to me is close to perfect, and then there's the soundtrack, which is among the best ever made. Truthfully, I'd have considered the game one of the best of all time even if there were only 48 courses, and now looking at my rankings and seeing that I consider there to be 48 courses better than GBA Boo Lake, which might I add is a very good track, only helps to show that it's only gotten better. When I reached the end of this process and was editing this video and just watching my own footage of the game, I realized I kind of wanted to play more. So I messaged a friend who had told me he wanted to play more Mario Kart after watching part of this series that I'd be available to play if he wanted to. And so, one day after completing a marathon 40-plus track long session of ranking, after having spent hours dissecting the game, working on video edits, and the same day as wrapping up my final rankings, I decided to relax by playing more Mario Kart. And really, I think that says it all. Thank you very much for watching.